Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're well. Been a few days, hasn't it? It's been over a week actually, I think, since our last live stream. But we're back live in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And we've pulled the iniBuilds A300-600R out of the hangar for the first time in a few weeks to check out their latest update, which dropped about a week ago. And it is the release day of Fenix version 2 Block 2, highly anticipated. We've all been waiting a lot. Right, we should be back. That was, oddly enough, Streamlabs crashing out on me. But now, if you can see my sim, look at that. All sorts of funky unhappiness on my screen. I don't know if it's jittering on yours, though. Super odd. There's some sort of encoder error on Streamlabs, apparently. But I wonder if it's caused some issues, therefore, with the sim. Yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness. How do we fix that? I have no idea. I wonder if it's the frame generation thing working a bit weird. Trippy indeed. Let's see. I swear every time recently we've been in this, we've had issues. How do we solve that? Oh, look at that. Has everyone just disappeared as well? Where's everyone gone? Oh, there's one back. Something very weird is going on here, isn't there? Super odd. Restart of what, though? Let's see if we can change stuff inside the general options. It's always the way, isn't it? We've been off the sim for a little while. We've been waiting for a week. Toggle TAA. I think, don't you have to change... don't you have to restart the sim for that to kind of work? Oh, hoi! Look at that. I think, okay, so this is apparently, we're back in, apparently, allegedly. With TAA switched off. Let's see if we turn TAA back on again. What a way to throw me off at the start of a live stream. I was so hyped. We've got new tunes. We're back in the A300. Oh, look at that. It's working again. There we are. Great success. Yekshemesh. Thank you to... Who was that came up with that idea? Birdman, I think. Yeah, Birdman in the live chat. Anyway. My goodness. I think I need a gin and tonic, not a coffee. Dwell, hello to you. Ian as well. Good evening. Badger, Rab, Lee. Great to see you all in the chat. Thanks for bearing with us for that weird, sudden technical issue that we had. And I've been in the sim, getting everything prepped for about 30 minutes, and it's all been fine up until that point. It's sod's law, isn't it? Carlito, welcome. Doc, good evening. Doubt Tango, good morning as well. Finally up for a live stream, and look how it begins. Oh dear. Anyway, we've solved it, I think. We've solved it. Welcome, commentator, and everyone else in the live chat. Thanks for bearing with us. There we are. We're back in smooth frames. Oh, thank my lord. Right, where are we? We're in Alicante. We've got Huggy's freeware for Alicante from flightsim.to. A very nice bit of freeware indeed. Let's get the APU fired up. And then we'll go through what we're going to be doing today, because we're off back to London Gatwick for the first time since December. We're basically flying the reverse routing of the preview stream that we did with this aircraft back at, I think it was the 18th of December. It was just before Christmas, wasn't it, really? So it should be quite good. Just make sure I've got everything actually working properly still, and we haven't got more technical problems. Should be good. So let's switch across to... Oh, bugger off with your parking brake.
Initial climb is 4,000, squawk 6230.
I need to change that click spot because it is bloody awful where they put that. Okay, so I think we've got Barcelona Centre, and I don't know if they... I think they cover us, don't they?
Ryanair 7567.
Because they go all the way down to
hello
Murcia.
again, request clearance to Alicante.
David Flight Simmer, good morning. Well, we figured that out.
Ryanair
We'll look at the charts. So, here at Alicante, El Chemuel Hernandez Airport in Spain.
3 Echo departure.
We're going to be heading out from stand 23,
6,000 feet and squawk 6231.
facing east, and we're going to taxi down
Ryanair
the apron, probably through Charlie actually, and Charlie down towards Charlie 8 for the full length of the runway, runway 28 for departure, 280 degrees onto the Mythos 2 Charlie departure,
Ryanair
heading out
7567, read that correct.
to 9.5 DME from the old VOR, before then turning back on ourselves, max 220 knots, round to fly inbound 065 back towards the VOR, then downwind almost 090 degrees, little dog leg, and then up to Samo, and then Mythos. This is a bit of a weird one. And I'm not 100% confident the A300 has an LNAV that is good enough for this.
Via runway 28, Mythos 2 Charlie departure. Initial climb altitude 6,000.
Which reminds me actually, we'll need to change this.
224.
Let us know how the sound is, by the way, and the sim and the voice and all that kind of stuff, because I changed a load of my settings for the interview I did on Sky Blue Radio back on Sunday just gone. So I'm conscious there might be slight differences to the way the sound is across the stream today, so do let me know. Good morning, Matthew.
Osprey 27 Alpha, 8320 at stand 87 with 2081017
Good.
requesting clearance, please.
Osprey 27 Alpha, Barcelona control, muy buenos días. Clear to Gatwick, runway 28. Mythos 2 Charlie departure. Initial climb altitude 6,000 feet and squawk 6.
Let's wait for my gap in clearance here. 1017 for the QNH.
Clear to Gatwick, runway 28, Mythos 2 Charlie departure. Initial climb 6,000 feet, squawk 6226, Osprey 27 Alpha.
Pista libre, Vueling 8 Maizuru.
Vueling 8 Maizuru, bienvenido a Barcelona y continúe, están a su disposición.
Está a la discreción, Vueling 8.
He's covering quite a big area.
Osprey 27 Alpha, read back right.
Barcelona Centre, Buenos Dias, Monarch 253 at Alicante, stand 23, QNH 1017, Airbus A300, request clearance to Gatwick, please.
Monarch 253, Barcelona control. Muy buenos días. Clear to Gatwick, runway 28, Mythos 2 Charlie departure. Initial climb altitude 6,000 feet and squawk 6220.
Cleared to London Gatwick, runway 28, Mythos 2 Charlie departure. Initial climb 6,000 feet and squawk 6220, Monarch 253.
Monarch 253, read back correct.
Yeah, buddy.
Barcelona controller, Portugal 105, request push start from gate
God, those jitters had me so worried. This is the last thing you want at the start of a stream, isn't it? Fills you with absolute dread. Darren was asking, is the Fenix A320 Block 2 releasing for everybody today? Yes, about 6 o'clock today UK time, I believe. 6 PM, which is why we're not in it today. And they're just going to release it all for everybody at the same time, which is pretty great. So you guys will all be able to enjoy it tonight before I get my hands on it. Tomorrow we will fly the Fenix A320 around. Today's live stream is all of your opportunity to help me pick a route that an IAE operator will use in real life, and we can come up with a snazzy route. My goodness, can you hear the music still? Or is the aircraft interior incredibly loud in this new update? That sounds great. So, nav accuracy upgraded. Let's pop in our SID, runway 28. Mythos 2 Charlie. Insert. So that's in. No idea if it's going to fly it properly. If it doesn't, we're going to have to dive in and handle it ourselves. V1 at 156 rotates the same. V2 at 161, flat retraction schedule starts at 160, internals are very loud, Gav says.
Europa 937, head to Vitoria, runway 24 left, Lovar 7 Quebec departure, initial climb altitude 6,000 feet and walk 6225.
We'll have to fiddle around with these sound settings again, I think, today. Close L2, up Chuffinick. I think it has.
Europa 937, bridge back correct.
Yeah, it has. I've noticed since the last update, the external camera, so if I press end here and get this camera out, I can't actually control it anymore. I can zoom in and out, but I can't do anything else with it, which is really weird. It does this kind of thing where it's almost anchored on something and I can't work out why or how. But we don't really use that one anyway very much. Alphaz, welcome! Yes, I have. They both look at different... So it's a question I've had a lot. They look at different values, effectively. Let me just turn the ATC volume up a little bit so I can hear this controller a bit better beyond the noise of the aircraft. And we'll get the beacon lights on. Nav lights are already on. Lights and signs. Galley is on shared. All of that's good. Looking at the rest of the overhead panel. Okay, let's push. Barcelona, Monarch 253 Alicante, stand 23, request push start.
Monarch 253, pushback and start approved, QNH 1017.
Oops. Ah, Chuffinick. Push start approved, QNH 1017, Monarch 253. Ooh, yeah, that's the question. Oh, it's working again now. So I want the nose to go left.
Monarch 28, Papa Mike, pushback and start approved, QNH 1017.
Brakes off.
Push and start approved, QNH 1017, Monarch 28, Papa Mike.
I did. Oh, hold on. It's in here, isn't it?
Sorry guys, you were blocked. What have time please?
Osprey 27 Alpha, ready push start, band 87.
Osprey 27 Alpha, pushback and start up approved, QNH 1017, and
Flex
I think the
53.
other one was Osprey 2472. Look out for the traffic to your left, with caution, clear for pushback and start up, QNH 1017.
Okay, ignition 8.
Clear for push and start, look out for traffic on the left for Osprey 2172, QNH
And start
1017.
2, open.
Excellent, thank you.
Barcelona
Ah, initial 038. I thought I did that earlier.
Taxi to hold
I'm having all sorts of issues today, aren't I?
8 runway 06 right.
I definitely did that earlier on.
Roger, 42195, Hotel 8 is approved, hold short of runway 0.
Engine 2, throw the fuel in. Where's my zero fuel weight?
Fly
12274.
Lima and Papa.
Oh, it's zero fuel weight centre of gravity.
Taxi via Lima and
2923.
Papa to the holding point, Hotel 8, runway 06 right, there to 105, thank you.
Europa 937, stand 25.
There we go. Wonder why that deleted itself.
Europa 937, pushback and start up approved, QNH 1015.
Start 1. I love the flight deck in this. Such a great environment. Watching the N2. And engine 1, fuel control lever to run. Yeah, so answering your question, Alphaz, Volanta, New Sky, anything that scores a landing, what it does basically is that they all use different points or different anchors. So it might be that New Sky look at the main wheels and the angle, speed and weight and the kind of heaviness of the touchdown, and reads a specific value that Volanta reads differently. So the contact point might be slightly differently. They might be looking for a slight difference in data when generating the score. So they'll all be slightly different. But what I have found with New Sky is it probably offers the most genuinely realistic kind of pushback functionality. And why is this not working? There we go. Weird behaviour in the sim today. Auto brake max. Transport is armed. Park brake stays on. 1228 is pre-tuned ready. Resets 0. And recall test. That's all set. Continuous relight. AP bleed off. Master switch off. Nose light to taxi. Looking at the bleeds, they look fine. Probes are all on. Overhead panel got no warning lights. And galley pop shed on. Or stop shedding it. Looking good. Monarch 253, request taxi.
Monarch 253, are you able to taxi via Delta? Are you blocked by the traffic?
I might have to go onto Charlie instead of Delta, Monarch 253.
Yeah, no worries. Then taxi, holding for runway 30, hold short of Charlie 7, and taxi via Charlie, and yeah, that will be it, Charlie.
Taxi hold point Charlie 7, runway 28 via Charlie, Monarch 253.
Excellent, thank you.
Ryanair 7567, hello, request radio check.
Ryanair 7568, Barcelona control, buenos días, readability 5.
Hello, request taxi.
Monarch 28, Papa Mike taxi.
Very heavy
point,
today.
Charlie 7 for runway 30 via Delta, and give way to about 300 please.
Charlie 730.
Almost 40% power just to get rolling.
Way to the A300.
Excellent, thank you.
So weights wise, we got 256 passengers on board for today's service back to Gatwick, and an estimated takeoff weight of 142.5 tonnes, which should have us land at Gatwick just below 130 tonnes, and using about 30% power to keep us rolling here. Also, yeah, the airplane definitely feels a bit heavier today.
6,000 feet. Your squawk is 6235.
Eclipse Alicante runway 24, Bravo 3, Echo departure, climb flight level 600 feet.
Love this old school livery, this brings back a lot of memories.
Ryanair 7568.
Ryanair 7568, we're both correct.
Osprey 27 Alpha, ready for taxi, please.
Is that Zato? Because I think that's meant to be a Monarch Airlines livery.
27 Alpha, taxi holding point Charlie 7, runway 30 via Charlie, and you will taxi behind an Airbus 300 of Monarch.
Taxi hold Charlie 7 via Charlie and follow the Monarch.
Trying to do this drone camera stuff here, making a right mess of it.
Barcelona Control, Air Portugal 105 at holding point Hotel 8, runway 06 right, ready for departure.
Air Portugal 195, winds
Let's look at my random liveries thing and then let me see what I've got on it.
Clear for takeoff 06 right, Air Portugal 105.
Control, Osprey 2 heavy, he's ready for taxi. Do you want to just follow company traffic?
A-firm, the traffic should be behind you. Airbus 320.
We'll have to sort it out in flight, I think, Zato, because it's showing that it should be there,
Charlie,
but it hasn't done that. Just going to rerun this to deduct a bit of...
heavy.
Monarch 253, winds variable, 4 knots, wrong way, 28 cliff as we go.
Runway 28 cliff takeoff, Monarch 253.
Europa 937, request taxi.
Europa 937, taxi, holding point for runway
Wow,
24.
it's giving us a really early takeoff clearance here. Put that on, let's get these out the belly.
Sierra, Kilo,
We turn off lights on.
Go for
This is Charlie 5.
Europa 937. Ryanair 7567, request startup, we are on a taxi out position.
53.
Ryanair 7567, startup approved.
Make sure I've got the trim on 0 here. Yeah. It's always very difficult to see.
567 pushing, startup approved, and QNH 1017.
Come on, stupid button. How many times do I have to push that?
Condor
Oh,
8
Jesus.
Alpha Delta via the Mallorca VOR, clear for the ILS to the bridge runway.
And now we've missed Charlie 7.
Left, report full established
Oh well.
the ILS 6.
The Mallorca VOR,
There are weird issues with this that are very frustrating me today.
I'm sorry, couldn't catch up the call train of the aircraft requesting
Oh well.
radio check, but the readability
Who
was
the heck's
loud
that?
and clear.
Delta Juliet, thank you very much. Visual and control, Europa 937.
937, pass your message.
Yeah, the pushback was a bit in front of Lima, Sierra, could take Quebec and Juliet,
Right. Automator, welcome, mate.
then surf piled.
Let's get the power on.
Hey, son, no worries.
There's the windsock just to the left of the pillar.
Barcelona control left tower number 5, passing 3,700 feet.
Brakes off.
Morse for echo departure.
And toga.
5 radar contact, line level 240.
Clap 240 left tower number 5.
My goodness. I forgot the flaps. That's why. Well, we'll get them extended on the roll, why not? Because they'll be extended and in place by the time that we actually get to our acceleration altitude. So naturally that should be an abort, but everyone else has already pushed behind us. We don't want to inconvenience them too much, do we? Just a lot the wrong way today.
4 Whiskey Papa, stand by for clearance, number 1.
B1 rotates.
And Monarch
E2.
28 Papa Mike, just want to ask, are we cleared to line up and wait
There
for
we
the runway?
Positive rate, give her up.
A-firm 28
I feel like the
Papa,
trim
clear to
value
line up and
that
wait,
I
runway
had
28.
set in the
Stand by
performance
for departure.
indicator isn't correct either.
Line up and wait, runway 28, Monarch 28 Papa Mike.
Probably was fine. It's going to be one of those calamitous streams, I think, today, folks.
Your squawk, North Charlie.
Just checking it now, Monarch 253.
Thank you, Monarch 253. Radar contact, passing 2,000 feet of altitude, climb flight level 360.
Climb flight level 360, Monarch 253. Forgot that as well, my goodness. Yeah, this is why I usually would read the
Monarch
checklist.
28 Papa Mike, I'm going to need a 2-minute delay departure for traffic.
No problem from
That's on
Monarch 28 Papa
climb.
Mike.
Thank you.
This is all because my night shifts this week have actually taken their toll on me somewhat, and I found it particularly tiring.
195, confirm your final fare level, please.
And with that, I found that it's taken me a long time to actually just recover from it. So I finished my night shift today, so yesterday morning. I still feel like I'm catching up massively. Profile and nav. We should have the engines spooled out now.
Thank you, Postal 195, climb flight level 320.
320 left tower number 5.
Set 218.
Runway 7568, request.
Now we've been given a climb by ATC, and initial climb of 6,000, but he's told us we can go beyond it, so we will just continue. Delta Tanker says, on behalf of the community, we quietly kind of like the calamitous streams.
Ryanair 7538.
Me too. Me too.
Taxi, holding point of runway.
So in a moment we should get. Let's go. Nose lights off. Runway turn off lights off.
Tango.
Ignition mode off.
K2 and Tango, Ryanair 7568.
Da da da. Water brake disarmed.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike, winds 310 degrees to 7 knots, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
28, go for takeoff, Monarch 28, Papa Mike.
Oh, Rab, what are you in?
Osprey 27 Alpha behind the
Okay, left turn
Airbus
coming in.
300 departing runway 28. Line up and wait behind.
300 departing Airbus 300.
Now we're talking.
28 behind. Osprey 27.
AFM Osprey 27 Alpha, please check your squawk 6.
So max 220 knots in the turn according to the charts, so we will maintain
2
that.
minute delay departure for wait services.
Squawk 6226 and yeah, copy the wait. Osprey 27 Alpha.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rab, check your APU bleed. Your A320 Neo.
Monica 253, you can continue turning to the left, and it's going to be direct Jerome.
We'll continue the left turn and just go again for the. Is it direct Jerome for Monarch 253?
AFM.
Okay, thanks.
Europa 937, fully ready, Golf 1.
Europa 937, surface winds 220 degrees 8 knots,
Insert.
clear for takeoff.
Nav.
MA24 left, clear for takeoff, Europa 937.
So we should, therefore, be heading back over the airport shortly.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike, say passing altitude please.
Oh no, the airport's there.
Roger, 28 Papa Mike, 2,800 for 6,000.
6 PM UK time,
you,
Matthew, I believe. It's 1800 UTC. I think that's what's been fielded at the moment.
Level 340.
Over to cruising altitude 340, Monarch 28 Papa Mike.
Yeah, I don't feel like my usual alert self today.
7567, request taxi.
Mind you, the start of the stream with weird glitchiness, that does throw you a little bit, doesn't it? When you're all getting ready for your flight and you've done all your planning and everything and you start to have odd problems. Yeah, it usually gives you, it throws you off somewhat, I think. What an awesome departure this is. He's basically just had us turn this big old loop. Let's go back to Prof. So nose is going to come down.
If you're clear to destination, Lima Papa Papa Tango, runway 30 for
get all the lights off there as required. Fuel pumps ram.
Initial climb altitude 6
Love it.
feet.
Hey, at least you noticed, at least you worked it out. What's the
Clear to
transition altitude here? Is only 6,000, so we'll go standard.
0 Astro 6 Foxtrot departure, initial flight level 060, squawk 6227 for Air National 4 Whiskey Papa.
And also 14 Whiskey Papa, read back correct. Europa 937, say passing altitude please.
1700.
Thank you, Europa 937, radar contact and climb flight level 270. Is that your final?
270 flight level.
Yeah, Dylan.
Final.
So I think they've pretty much showed everybody what liveries are going to be releasing on the day, which is pretty cool. The liveries that they are offering are very nice.
Condor 8, Alpha Delta, surface.
Looks like we got Spirit.
5 knots, runway 06 left, clear to land, report runway vacated.
Where is it? I've just linked it literally a few minutes ago. So
So Delta Juliet requesting clearance to Barcelona.
while we climb, let's have a look.
Ryanair 3 Delta Juliet.
And what we can expect from 6 PM today. And we need to pick one for a flight for tomorrow. So Atarium liveries, Etihad.
236.
Beautiful. Atarium liveries, well, probably the best livery creator in the sim community at the moment. Good old British Airways, love it. Uniform whiskey there. That looks insanely detailed, looks absolutely stunning. So that's probably what I'll end up choosing for tomorrow. Oh, that's stunning. Even the little access panel there, the screws. EasyJet. Top Swiss actually, I think, isn't it? So it's the Austrian version of EasyJet. Is it Alpine? Alpine, I think it is. I always forget the European EasyJet ones. And Lufthansa. We got Wizzy Woo.
Okay, sir, and please check your score.
Air Lingus.
Thank you. Osprey 2
and Scandinavian with an absolute stunning metallic effect on that SAS livery there. Remarkably nice. And we've got some special cabins here from Enzo. Air France, South African Airways. And Brussels Airlines. We've got Allegiant. We've got JetBlue with a couple of their special liveries. Looks like these are all of the ones that are probably going to be releasing later today. There you go. JetBlue. Forever Blue livery there. United, the old school livery. Wow. An American, very realistic that, looks absolutely stunning. JetBlue Airways, old school. Delta, of course. And Spirit. We've also got Air New Zealand, we've got the white livery. And the black livery, the All Blacks livery. You love that one, that's a very nice one. Look at that.
Radar contact, level 350, clear for Luning 3 Mike.
We've got Aegean.
And 1 ready, descend, flight level 100.
And Jetstar.
For Luning 3 Mike, and when ready, flight level 100.
Australia. And then here, they've got a little bit here about one of their livery designers or sort of technical designers doing a lot of interior work. So there's a Eurowings hint there, so it may well be that we've got a Eurowings livery coming as well.
Please repeat for Monarch 28 Papa Mike.
Oh, look at that luminous handle, it's fantastic.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike, clear direct Euro from present position.
Direct Jerome, November.
Lufthansa cabin there, that looks stunning. The quality and the level of detail that's going to be in this update looks insane. Look at that for an EasyJet cabin, that looks real.
Thank you.
Even down to the stitching.
Radar contact, climb, flight level 360, that's your final.
Oh, that looks mega. Luminous lighting, guide you to your nearest exit. There you go.
Condor 8 Alpha Delta, welcome.
Amazing.
Continue taxi to Standard Shore.
How are we doing in a climb?
Alpha Delta, bye-bye, thank you.
Got a high cost index today.
Whiskey Papa requesting pushback and start.
100.
Austria 14 Whiskey Papa pushback and start up approved QNH 1016.
Captain Loki says hello.
Pushback is for someone for Whiskey Papa.
Ryanair 7567, ready for departure.
Ryanair 7567, runway 24, line up and wait, inspect 2 minutes, delay departure.
Line up and wait, runway 24, thank you, Ryanair 7567.
Ryanair 756, flight level 2500, passing flight level 600.
Ryanair 7568, radar contact, climb flight level 130.
130, Ryanair 768.
Barcelona Control, good afternoon. Transavia 5 Romeo with you, Flight Level 380. Transavia 5 Romeo, Barcelona Control, buenas tardes. Radar contact, flight level 390, squawk 6233. And stand by for your arrival details.
Yeah, complete squawk 6233, Transavia 5 Romeo.
Barcelona, muy buenas, quality 5, Lima Charlie, Barcelona 155, information.
There we go, that's a bit better. Ah, Badger. You know what we could do, couldn't we? We could do, that could be a good one. We could do a classic like Heathrow, Edinburgh, Heathrow, or Heathrow, Manchester, Heathrow.
Thank you. Quality 5 Lima Charlie.
Heathrow, Manchester, Heathrow could be a good one actually. Two fantastic sceneries.
Lotus 6 Quebec departure.
Had to just leg it downstairs because the dog was continuing to bark away, and the chap didn't want to just put it by the door and leave it. He wanted to actually physically hand it to me, so I had to go and get a parcel.
Valencia, 24 left, Lotus 6 Quebec, initial climb at 6,000 feet, and score 6241, quality 5 Lima Charlie.
Seatbelt, there we are.
Quality 5
Tell me not been in here for a little while because it's my flow. I'm still catching up with things. Valencia down below apparently.
Osprey 2472, wind 310 degrees 7 knots, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff.
That'll be alright, Doc. I don't mind Heathrow too much.
Romeo Barcelona Control.
Gatwick's always pretty awful on VATSIM.
Destination Lima Foxtrot, Kilo Juliet, runway 06 right for departure.
I do miss this livery being in the skies. Got fond memories of it as a kid.
4,000 feet and squawk 6240.
Kevin's asking what's the difference between the current Fenix engines and the new ones that are coming. So they're completely different manufacturers. So currently the CFM option is installed on the Fenix A320, I believe. But we're going to have from later on this evening the IAEs, which are slightly different. They've got different kind of procedures and different considerations when using the engines. They've got different operating limitations, and they behave slightly differently as well. It'd be worth checking out what Fenix did about a week or two ago when they did a big show on their YouTube channel about all of the differences and some of the considerations. So they're even, I think it is in the version that's coming live tonight, isn't it? They've got engine surge and things like that simulated, and vibrations and things, haven't they?
350 degrees 13 knots, runway 24 clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 2 for Rwanda 7567.
Osprey 2472, safe passing altitude, please.
Osprey 2472, passing 2,200 feet.
Lovely.
Thank you, Osprey 2472, radar contact. Climb flight level 320, that's final.
Hey, climb flight level 320, Osprey 2472.
Dylan, how are you getting on? Says, what if someone forgot to re-engage the second engine after taxi if they single engine taxi? Well, they won't be able to accelerate fast enough to take off, I don't think. Unless they've got kilometres of runway. Even just trying to keep it straight would probably be pretty difficult. Dylan's saying as well, United and American run both engine options. Delta's CFM, JetBlue though IAE. Spirit he's not too sure about. I think Spirit is an IAE operator, isn't it? As is Wizz and I think EasyJet as well, aren't they? British Airways have got a mix. They've got some CFMs and I think they've got some IAEs and the older A320s as well. Like Uniform Whiskey in the screenshot. Pretty sure that's IAE powered A320.
Delta Charlie, continue descend altitude 5,000 feet on the QNH.
As Aaron's saying, they sound different as well.
Continue to 5,000 feet.
BJC, hello. He says, forgot flaps once and pushed toga. Just about got flaps one down before V1. So ordinarily I would have aborted that takeoff if we didn't have 3 or 4 people behind. Then I would have ended up doing that too. That's the point as well. So Kevin, one of the big things really with the IAEs, you start engine 1 first, I think, in the IAEs. But they take a little while to warm up as well, but they also take a while to cool down afterwards, the IAEs, so you can end up doing a hot start if you're not careful. Ah, there we go, Doc, nice. So they used to have the CFM ones, but now they're all IAE. Yeah, was it V2500s? I think. IAE V2500. I'll have to Google it to be sure.
Ryanair 44, Echo Romeo, pushback inside of approved QNH, Palma 1015.
Pushback approved, confirmed back QNH 101.
There's a lot of quirks with
the
IAEs, and I think they need a little bit more TLC than the CFMs do.
Echo noted, then QNH 1015
Ryanair 7568, clear for Herbu 3 November, expect the RMP Yankee approach runway 28.
Level 2, Yankee, expect Dallas, runway 28, Ryanair 7568.
Mind you, I just felt transponded myself
RMP
today.
Yankee approach, please.
RMP Yankee approach, Ryanair 7568.
Transavian 5 Romeo, report 80, copy arrival details.
Yep, we're ready. Go ahead.
Transavian 5 Romeo, clear for the
Max
Valencia 3 November
356.
arrival, expect the RMP Yankee approach runway 28.
Roger, Frontier 3 in November arrival for the RMP
Oops, wrong
Yankee
button.
approach
My
runway
goodness, what am I
28.
doing?
Transavia 5 Romeo.
We'll go for 600 foot per minute. I'm hoping that will just allow us to tickle over to 360.
And off room 1 for Whiskey Papa, winds variable full knots, runway 30, clear for takeoff.
But we'll monitor that. How are we doing on news on Volanta? Let's have a look, see what the queue's doing.
My descent in about 15 miles.
7 screenshots to pop on as well.
Descent flight level 100.
200, Transavia 5 Romeo.
Okay, that cool little loop that it got us to do. So everyone else has been given a direct. They've all been given the flights up to Mytos by the looks of it.
1905, no further agency. You can monitor Unicom and ensure flight to your next one.
Was that me? Oh no, tap 195. I did think so.
Osprey 2472 from present position, direct
Monarch 28
0.
Papa Mike. That's Zarto behind. Flying the other one, Madge S. Back towards Gatwick. We've got Banjo ahead, Iberia 919er in the MD82. Nice. We've got Takuta Easy 49 November Papa flying Alicante to Gatwick as well in the A320 Neo. Osprey 27 Alpha out of Alicante as well. Been given a bit of a shortcut. In Osprey 2472.
The Mallorca VOR clear for the
Bingo. There's some screenshots.
Runway 06 left. Report
in the A300 as well.
Descent to 4,000 feet, and after the Mike Juliet Victor,
nice.
We are join look ILS.
Peter as well, Osprey 32, looks like he's flying. In the 787-900. Who else have we got? I think that is the last man out. And it got a landing there for some reason, it's a bit weird.
Ryanair 7567, clear for Herbu.
Yeah, that's all of us.
3 November,
awesome.
Expect the RMP Yankee approach, runway 28.
Herbu 3 November, expect RMP
Canadian Flight Simulator, I won't at the
28,
moment.
You'll
have to remind me at the end of the flight today. They're ghost switches Vibe have. So you can either set keybind to the Toga button, or you can press this button here as a click spot, which allows you to press the go switches for takeoff without having to look down. That's pretty cool. If not, if you want to know the actual physical location, you got the throttles here
Ryanair
and the reverse switches, but below that,
holding point
where is it?
right.
Here we are. It's a bit awkward to see. See if I can get it right. So these two little levers here, they're the go switches.
Kilo to the south.
So if you can see that, hopefully you can.
Peter,
welcome. Are you flying along with VATSIM as well?
Hotel 8 via Lima and Kilo to the south, Ryanair, Alicante, Juliet.
Quality 5 Lima Charlie, ready for pushing start.
Quality 5 Lima Charlie, pushback and startup approved, QNH 1015.
Push down approved, QNH 1015, complete 5 Lima Charlie.
Ryanair 7568.
Just monitoring the speed here.
Clear for the RMP Yankee approach, runway 28.
RMP Yankee, RMP runway 28, runway 68.
Might do
North
back
Korea
up to
14 Whiskey Papa.
see if it can handle it.
Confirm, establish 6000.
Establish 6,000 for National 14 Papa.
Thank you, Nostro 14 Whiskey Papa, radar contact and climb flight level 240. What's your final flight level, please?
Dylan, it's the really annoying
300 for
setting here, which frustrates me every time I fly it. Rudder controls tiller, yes, and auto tiller disconnect. For some reason, the auto tiller disconnect doesn't seem to do anything, because it doesn't automatically disconnect your tiller when you activate toga. Which means that when you're hurtling down the runway, either for touchdown, after landing, or during the takeoff roll, your rudder pedals are also changing the direction of your nose wheel, which is then causing people to veer off the runway and make it very hard to control. Rudder controls tiller, for me, I've changed to no now, until I get to a slow enough speed just before I vacate the runway at Gatwick, and then I'll need to remember to get back in here and click yes to connect the nose wheel back to the rudder pedals. Shouldn't have to go to that level of effort, but that's the only way I can seem to get it to work reliably, but it does make it a bit of a struggle.
Radar contact, flight level 350, clear direct Astro.
It's a slower startup procedure in the IAEs on the Fenix as well, isn't it? The CFM start up a bit quicker. The IAEs take a little while longer, and I think for about 30 seconds to a minute, I think from memory, thinking about what it was that was on the video that I watched, because there was a lot of information on it, probably a little bit too much information on it to be fair for one video. I think it's like 30 seconds or a minute where it might seem like it's not doing anything at all, and then it will come to life. It's because it's checking various different things and it's preconditioning itself before spooling up the compressors and throwing the fuel in and igniting everything. Cythera, hello, how are you, mate? I'm very well, thank you for asking. Block 2 for the Fenix is released today. Indeed, very exciting, isn't it? Long anticipated. Everybody's been waiting for it. What are you looking forward to the most about it, Cythera? And my goodness, been with us for 32 months as a gold frequent flyer. Thanks for the ongoing support. Let me set up a poll for tomorrow. So I reckon we'll go for British Airways.
Europa 937, no further ATC, you can monitor Unicom, adios.
Unicom, have a nice day, Europa 937.
You too, thanks.
I'll give us a couple of options.
Ryanair 44, Echo Romeo, taxi, holding point Hotel 8, runway 06.
You say easy to operate IAEs.
Papa.
I can't remember. I think they do.
Ryanair 3 Delta Juliet, you will please give way to a company traffic 737 that will taxi to Hotel 8, leaving the apron via Papa.
Yeah, no problem. Please approach the link.
Thank you. Muy buenas tardes, Lufthansa 2 Lima Bravo.
Oh, okay, so EasyJet's not an option then.
Flight level 290 and clear for Papa Oscar Sierra 4 November arrival. Expect the ILS Sud approach runway 24.
Expect I have the person on the 24.
Trying to find Doc Badger's Aberdeen or Inverness and back.
5 Lima Charlie, it is taxi.
We did Aberdeen the other day, didn't we?
Quality 5 Lima Charlie taxi, holding point Golf 1 for runway 24 left via Papa November Sierra Mike Echo.
What about Glasgow? Or Belfast Aldergrove actually, because we've not done that for a while, have we? So
left Golf 1 via Papa November Sierra Mike Echo and Kilo quality 5 Lima Charlie.
7658 is possible direct Charlie Delta 28 Zulu.
Ryanair 7568, are you visual with the terrain?
right, I'll do 4 options. British Airways Heathrow to Belfast
Yes,
and back. BA Heathrow to Manchester and back.
Roger,
Heathrow
Ryanair
to Edinburgh and back.
7568,
And
if you're visual
Heathrow
with the terrain,
to
maintain
Aberdeen
your
and back.
and
There's the poll for you to vote away throughout today's live stream. 4 different options for the IAE powered Fenix A320 Block 2, which releases tonight for tomorrow's live stream. Should be good. Hey look, how weird. The speed's reset from a Mac figure. Why has it done that? Very weird. Let's do Mac 84. Because let's go fast.
Ryanair 7567, request descent.
Ryanair 7567, descent flight level 70.
That's the one.
70, Ryanair
Oh, it's too late now, Badger. I've set the poll.
Trans-Sabian 5 Romeo, descent flight level 80.
1800 UTC Pepnopoli today. That's what I think
Air
it's
14 Whiskey
thrown
Papa,
about.
no further ATC, you can monitor Unicom and enjoy flight.
Unicom, muchas gracias por el servicio. Tenga buena tarde.
Chao, buenas tardes.
Barcelona, hello, B71 Golf Romeo.
So we got him all the way through to the border, Barcelona, and then Unicom for the remainder of the flight today, by the looks of it.
Barcelona, muy buenas. Un instante, yo estoy con usted.
What we'll do is we'll have a little look at the different options for the arrival procedure into Gatwick today. And I'm trying to see if I can solve the fact that Zato isn't quite displaying properly for us.
Commander Delta Charlie went Palma, standby, 330.
I might have to put him as the
left, clear to land, report runway.
As the new one.
06 left, clear to land, and we will report Condor Nana Delta Charlie.
Ryanair 44 Echo Romeo Palma, Hotel 8 runway.
Model matching, advanced, custom rules.
Ryanair 44 Echo Romeo, wind 330 degrees, 9 knots, runway 06, right, clear to takeoff.
Clear to takeoff runway 06.
Dot aircraft. Okay, so it's trying to match you as some sort of see if we can move this up.
Para el India Bravo Bravo 1 Golf Romeo, ¿pone estandarizado? Si puede hacer salida con
Right, there we go, that's worked.
Ok, recibido, ningún problema. Entonces, está autorizado Menorca.
We'll have to monitor that though, because it might have made
derecha a mantener
model matching slightly worse for generic, all of the other airliners, but we'll find out when we get a bit closer. Peter, crash to desktop, not had one for ages, that's not good. Oof. What was happening before you got one? Yes, we were just going through all of the different liveries that they've put on their Discord earlier today. They look fantastic, don't they? Terrium liveries is great. We, I think the last couple of flights we've done, one of those was in the Terrium liveries, aeroplane livery. And Hitesh, yeah, that was Hergy's fantastic freeway Alicante that we departed from today. That says yesterday his Fenix seemed to be glued to the ground. Parking brake on and off, tapping the brakes did nothing, breakaway thrust was huge. Same at the second end, but not on the Beta. Can anyone else have this? I'm not sure. I mean, I've just had to use a bit of breakaway, extra power for breakaway in this, so I don't know if something's changed in the sim, which has made the aeroplanes a bit stickier. Certainly with the Fenix, you should be able to pop that part brake off and it will just start to roll, at least maybe with a tiny boost of power, and then on idle it should be able to taxi on idle. I think it would be worth checking the Flubber A320X to see if you get the similar problem Delta Tango, because if you do, then it's probably a wider sim issue with something they've changed in a recent update perhaps. Canadian and Dylan are looking forward to US ops with the Fenix version 2 Block 2 when it releases.
Clear established for the RMP Yankee approach, runway 28, QNH 1017, transition level 070, report established in final.
We'll keep the poll running for a little while just so you guys can get have your say, have a little look and choose as one of 4 different route options for tomorrow. Short short UK BA shuttle service.
Ryanair 3 Delta Juliet to wind 330 degrees.
We'll check out those IAEs and see what happens. It'll be interesting actually with a short turnaround to see what happens with the second sector in that instance as well. Because if we don't cool the engines enough, we can get hot start, and then therefore some problems to deal with. And I think they're including a QRH by the looks of it. From that video that they put on the Fenix YouTube channel a few weeks ago, there was a Fenix made QRH document that was showed, wasn't there? So we'll just see if that's included as well. Yeah, tonight sure going to be busy, Dylan, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of A320s in the skies of the sim tonight.
Climb flight level 240 and confirm your final flight level.
Looking forward to it. It's what, 6 months overdue beyond when they said it was meant to release, roughly. So we've all been waiting a very long time for it, but as they've said, they've just not been happy with where it's been up until now when they've decided it's ready for release. So all things are worth waiting for in the end. Very true Canadian flight simmer. Yeah. Shouldn't be an issue at all in Canada. It's going to be great. It's like so summer's starting to roll on in once we get the other side of spring in the UK, for us at least. We're going to be looking at summer. We're going to be flying the Fenix A320 and the sim to various destinations, perhaps in Greece, North Africa perhaps as well. So destinations where we're looking in the high 30s potentially. And depending on where we're looking around the world, it might even be hotter than that. We might be flying into aerodromes that are around 40 degrees Celsius. So that's where if we've got an IAE powered Fenix A320, we're going to have to be very careful about how we manage the engines.
Hacia el este o hacia el oeste, sean el paso de la aeronave y luego va a rodar al punto de espera de la pista 06 derecha, mantener corto de Hotel 8 y rodar por Lima, Kilo y Sur.
Ryanair 7567 fully established on 828.
Oh, by the way, those of you who missed Sky Blue Radio the other day, I was live on Sunday before my night shift on Sky Blue Radio for an hour on the Haggis and Poutine show, which was really good fun. A lot more fun than I thought it would have been. I thought it was going to be fun, but I actually had a really good time, a fantastic blast for an hour, and I wish I could have stayed longer, but I had that night shift to go to get ready for. But it's not yet available on podcast. They're looking at sorting that out at some point in the next few weeks, and then they'll send me a link apparently with that to share with you all. So if you missed the interview, I'm hoping at some point in the next few weeks you'll be able to actually watch that back as well.
Ryanair 7568, say reason for going around.
I'm turning left in...
Paul says, hi Luke. Paul H in Osprey 27 Alpha in the A321X, looking forward to Phoenix and their update. Just heard it on the chat. Absolutely.
Ryanair 7568, say again, please.
Ryanair 75, too fast, left turn, now I'm runway 28.
Alright, you are not clear for a visual approach. You have to continue the missed approach procedure as published. There's an aircraft on the runway, so now continue the approach Brilliant. Anyway, but stand by for landing clearance. The runway is not clear.
Roger, Ryanair 75, sorry.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good that you do a visual approach without clearance, right? You need to do the standardized procedure.
Okay, sorry, I'm new on Watson. Sorry for that.
No worries. Just check that for next time.
So that controller there is helping a new pilot who is being asked to fly vision approach, I think. Hasn't quite briefed that vision approach and what's expected of him, so struggling a little bit to follow those instructions, but the controller's helping him out with what the situation is and what he kind of needs to do so he can improve for next time, which is quite nice. Yeah, a little bit of ATC teaching. Certainly something they don't need to do, but good controllers will try and help out new pilots, as we do as well. The poll is pretty tight, you know. We've got 47 votes so far. And they're all about, it's 26%, 28%, 26%, 21%. Dennis might take off out of St. Martin and do a jet blue flight to New York. Run the NYC livery and try and get a hot start would be fun.
By that for South Flight Romeo, can you confirm transition level was 70?
Excellent. Transition level 70 and the local QNH is 1017.
What's your 70 local QNH 10?
You'll catch up in no time, Rab, to be fair. Although we're doing, I think, Mach 8.2. Nope, Mach 8.4. So good luck. There's the Pyrenees.
De comunicaciones en frecuencia. Va
So
a rodar
clear.
el punto de espera de la 06 derecha por
And that tiny little country of Andorra's down there somewhere. Yes, Delta Tango, thank you. Yeah, if you haven't already, folks, do press the like button. Every little helps. Mach 9 incoming, Rab, yep. To be fair, you could definitely do that. Ron, it's a very good question actually there, mate. Is it, in real life, also allowed for ATC to speak in their own language? Because you can hear this, the controller speaking Spanish there. They're not meant to be able to, but they do. Certainly in Brazil, you'll find that they will be just speaking in Portuguese to all of the traffic, unless they're an English-speaking carrier, which is really helpful for the pilots flying in from Heathrow, with very little situational awareness.
Scandinavian 667, Barcelona control, muy buenas. Stand by, let me check for your flight plan because I haven't got a SID for you. So let me check that, let me see if I can get an SID.
Yeah, Chinese ATC, they speak in Chinese as well. Same with Japanese ATC. Americans, they speak in American. I jest. Don't be upset if you're American. You spell colour incorrectly.
Radar contact, flight level 340 and clear direct next up.
French always speak French to themselves. But that's because they believe the aviation language should have been French. Thankfully it's not. Doc, very nice. Just landed in Malta. Got a 10 in New Sky, a whopper. Have deviation on landing by 1 centimetre from the centre line. That's fantastic. I think that's probably the best result that anyone's ever had.
Give me 5 minutes, I'll get that.
Very good.
Okay,
Freedomese. Yeah, true.
Quality 5 Lima Charlie, take passing altitude, please.
He just says he'd cry if the Phoenix team announced that they're working on a legacy A330.
Quality 5 Lima Charlie, thank you. Radar contact.
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Level 210, start your final.
I popped the seatbelt signs on expecting some bumpiness, but you can see the aeroplane just bobbing slightly.
Roger, thank you.
Well, you guarantee turbulence over the Alps usually, but maybe not always around the Pyrenees.
No.
Definitely feels a bit smoother, sounds are a little bit better. So the progress that they've been making with this iniBuilds A300 is very good, and it's great to see that they've made so many updates in such a short space of time as well, to be fair. But some of these updates have been pretty bad for the iniBuilds A300, which certainly for the last month has resulted in me hangering it and just not flying it because they've been so frustrating. Some of these bugs, like that Miami flight, I think actually was that a last? That might have been our last A300 flight. The Miami thing where the auto throttle cut out on takeoff and almost had a stall on the initial climb out. And it was only because we smashed the throttles really fast forward instantly that we saved it. Doc, no worries. That's still a great score.
Ryanair 27 Romeo Charlie, Barcelona, muy buenas. Radar contact. Descend 4,000 feet of altitude, set QNH 1015 and squawk 6201.
Mike, welcome.
4,000 feet, QNH 1015, squawk 6201.
Delta Tango says, I have to admit, the British pronunciation of water sounds better than it sounds in American English. When I was crew, I think I've told this story before, it used to really annoy me, and it was only on the American flights. Mainly on the LA flight, actually, which makes a lot of sense, actually, because it is probably a very LA thing to do. But we get asked for diet water all the time. And I'd look at them and be like, so you want a glass of water? No, I want some ice water, in this heavy Californian accent. And I'd be looking at this lady, trying to think in my head, are you just trying to wind me up, or are you stupid? And what she was asking for was just a glass of ice cubes.
Ryanair 44 Echo Romeo, no further ATC, you can monitor Unicom, enjoy your flight, see you next time. Unicom, thanks for the service, bye-bye, Echo Romeo.
Handoff is imminent to Unicom.
And with Tanzania van Romeo is final to it.
Seven full Romeo, winds 280 degrees 7 knots, runway 28, clear to land before vacating.
Yeah, the LNAV, the VNAV is a bit fiddly Hitesh on the A300 still, and actually, to be frank, it can't really do RNAV approaches very well at the moment. I've been waiting for it to get to a good enough standard so that it can it reliably flies an RNAV approach, so that I can film that and create a tutorial for it. And I've tried 6 times in the last 2 months, various updates, various different airports and different approaches, and every time I've been recording it, it's broke, and it hasn't been able to fly the RNAV approach properly, so I've just given up for now until they actually fix it. But it's definitely a little bit funky, and it still doesn't really know massively how to do the RNAVs, the RNAV approaches. Deltango says, don't judge our spelling, we're just saving you an extra U for later. Yeah, who needs extra vowels?
Alright, wasn't able to get a flight plan for you with an SID with that route.
And all the passengers now will be thinking, my goodness, the pilot must have been able to see the turbulence.
So let's just make a non-standard departure. You ready to copy?
I'm ready to copy, sir.
If you've not yet voted, do check out the in-stream poll, and you can choose tomorrow's Fenix A320 Block 2 V2 first flight on the channel. It'll be tomorrow, usual time, 12:30, 3 at 1300 UTC. It depends on what routing is chosen. Probably 1300 UTC, just so it's a nice consistent time. And it'll be a UK British Airways domestic hop. It's worth noting actually that I think Ashley pointed this out in our Discord server the other day. Fenix V2 Block 2 is going to require all of us to update all of our liveries that we have currently for the Fenix A320. So those of you with Osprey liveries, the Osprey Airways fleet with our VA, you might find it will take Taxi a few weeks to get his bits updated for the Fenix A320. But it'll all be done nice and slow. But for the interim, you'll probably just want to head...
253, no further ATC, you can monitor Unicom and enjoy the rest of the flight. See you next time.
Thanks for the ATC, see you next time. Over to Unicom, Monarch 253, bye.
Bye.
Yoink. Jérôme. It's direct to right at the edge of his airspace there. Ulrich, hello to you. Can you do an updated tutorial on how to fly in VATSIM, but this time in an Airbus A320neo fly-by-wire? Well, it depends on what kind of tutorial you want, Ulrich. I can either do a tutorial series that shows how to fly the fly-by-wire A320nx, or a VATSIM tutorial, because they're kind of independent of one another, because flying well on VATSIM requires you to know how to operate your aircraft, and they're not one and the same. So everybody has a variety of aircraft they like the most, which is why I've got I've got a vast number of tutorial series for different aeroplanes available in MSFS, but a specific VATSIM tutorial series that you can have a look at on the channel. Worth having a little look at those, Ulrich. I think mostly they're in the 737s, but the principle of actually flying on VATSIM is the same, because it doesn't matter what aircraft you're in, VATSIM itself works the same in every aeroplane. The variable there is the fact that every single aircraft that we fly on VATSIM is different, so we need to know how to fly the aircraft itself as well. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Rab says he's going to use the A320nx tomorrow and hopefully remember his fuel pumps. Always good to turn them on. Delta Tango, nice. Yeah, do not disturb ready for tomorrow. Absolutely, Cythera. We'll be trying to get the Fenix updated as quick as we can with the Osprey livery, of course. But because they do it for free, a lot of these livery creators, they do their work for free and they enjoy painting the Osprey liveries. Some of them do it on commission, and like as in I pay for them to complete some of the liveries. They would typically be updated a lot quicker. But the guys that like Tapsy that paint them for free because he loves the channel and loves the virtual airline Osprey Airways and enjoys seeing what he's created in the sim on our streams and things, it will take a few weeks. I put no pressure on them to create and update the liveries basically because I want them to enjoy doing it. Ian says, when you think about it, we are very lucky in the sim world at the moment. All of these updates and new aircraft to come, and then we've got Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 coming in summer too. What a year it's going to be. Absolutely. Yeah, we said it last year and we said it the year before that and the year before that. We've got a lot to look forward to, haven't we? This year's going to be groundbreaking in the sim, I think. We're going to have a flux of aircraft coming in, like the PMDG 777, vast high-fidelity aeroplane products coming forwards, and the ones that we've already got, they're going to be still supported and updated, like this, the iniBuilds A300s. We're going to see updates and progression as these products start to mature in their development timelines. More scenery, of course, arriving for us to enjoy. And then, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Hopefully, touch wood, it will be a seamless transition, and where they say everything will be supported, very much hope it will be. I'm still not massively confident that the A380 is going to release this year. It might be the end of the year. And the iniBuilds A350 I think won't come until maybe summer 2025, I reckon. If we manage to get an A220, that would be very good. So I think that's the Synaptic Simulations one, isn't it, Hitesh, that you referred to there? Is that the one that... is it Synaptic Sim A220? Which was freeware, but now they've done a deal with iniBuilds, and they've partnered with iniBuilds to create it as a payware product, I think, if I've remembered that rightly. Do fact check me, let me know if that's correct or not. It's been a little while since I looked into that particular element of product.
So this is Blinding traffic. First we get 140 Alpha landing us picking up on runway 32 left TR2 smooth traffic.
So there it says, in the A320s and most Airbuses, the fuel is in fact gravity fed. Hence the reason why the engines still turn on. The pumps are more like valves. Although interestingly, I think Rab was saying his pumps in the A320X were off and the engines wouldn't actually turn on. Delta Tank says, fingers crossed for the 777, the 757 and more. Yeah, I'm not sure about the 757. As much as I would love it, I think I would be absolutely buzzing to see it release in summer. Realistically, with its progress, I think maybe we're looking at January, February, March 2025. Oh, Rab, yeah, gotcha. Hence the fuel pumps. Well, it's good to know they've simulated that as well then, actually. We'll give it a few more minutes on the poll so we can work out what we're going to be flying tomorrow. I'm hoping the update goes seamlessly for Fenix today. Everybody is waiting for 1800 UTC. And if we throw a number out there and assume that they've sold 5,000 Fenix A320s, there might well be about 3,000 people all logging on at 1800, loading up the Fenix program, hoping for an update. So it might really stress their servers out a little bit. So do be careful. Hopefully it won't break anything. But yeah, if the server crashes, you might just have to switch it off, go chill out, and enjoy something else for a few hours until the buzz has kind of fizzled out, and then update it a couple of hours after the mad rush finishes. Mike says he's going to try it about 9 PM. Probably a good time to try, actually. A couple of hours after the release arrives. Probably quite a sensible time, actually. Give the 3-hour kind of rush hour to finish with a bit of buffer as well around it. Ian says one good thing about living on the other side of the world is it's a tomorrow thing for us. Yeah, it's a tomorrow morning thing for you, actually. So you will literally go to sleep, and by the time you wake up, you can just boot the sim and update your Fenix. Yes, they were saying, well, Fenix said that the reason it took so long is because they want the foundation of Fenix to be right going further. I'm always wary of marketing speak, which we get a lot of with some developers, and a lot of it sounds great, but I think ultimately it's just marketing speak, and we've got to be careful of that. You can't read too much into it. A lot of the time it'll have been carefully sentenced and formulated to sound super, super cool, when actually it's just because they built it from the ground up. But in marketing speak, it'll be, we recreated it. We created the foundation of it to make it right going further onwards into the product development, or whatever marketing gumph that they come up with. Is there any new updates on the 777? Neil is asking there. Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Although you know, the PMDG Operations Centre, about a week ago, when you went to click on it, it wouldn't load, would it? And I think the last time that happened, it was getting closer to the release of one of the 737s. So I do wonder if they're now starting to slowly put it into the back end of the operations centre ready. Hence why we've all had to go on and do that manual update again. It's only a very loose theory. Oh, nice. We'll post pictures of us all converging on Giron on Discord later. We all got directed at different points from the SID. Hi Tim, hello. Anyone having issues with GSX since yesterday's update? I've had different ground handling liveries, i.e. front stairs, Ryanair, EasyJet on the rear. Ooh. No, I'm not sure. I haven't noticed, mate. Yeah, I'll probably have to use it 3 or 4 more times to work it all out. Doc says the Fenix is going to release at midnight for him. Yeah, fingers crossed, MPS, eh? Let's hope we get a preview for it. It'll be very exciting. I've already been thinking about what I would want to do with it, and it's hard to work it out, because I do want to create a fantastic preview series, or some kind of preview content for the 737 when it comes out prior to its release. If I get the opportunity to do so, I'll be humbled if I do. But I might do a video first, just a pre-recorded video exploring some of its features, and you guys can see it in flight perhaps. And then we'll dive into a live stream or something the next day. I think that was the format for the 737, I believe, actually. So I might do the same. But I need to learn this 777 as well, and then as I get confident with it, I'll then look to create a tutorial series to help everyone else out if they're finding elements of it a bit tough. Brad, when it first came out on tablets and things, I did. When I was flying for BA as crew, I'd be sitting in the crew rest area, and I'd had Implement Flight on my iPad at the time. That's the last time I kind of flew it, really. Cheeky slewing, Rab. Oof. Not tracking on New Sky then. Let's put some descent forecasts in. Oh, what we got here? There we go. So, flight level 310, 325, 47 knots. Flight level 150, 284, sorry, 287 at 24. Flight level 100. 266 at 26. And then we need the METAR for old gatters, so use the live chat for that, see what it gives us. Well, Tim, we had one fly into Heathrow the other day, actually, a DHL cargo 777 that flew East Midlands. I think it was East Midlands to Heathrow, which is probably the world's shortest real-world flight at 777. You've also got those Fifth Freedom flights. So British Airways and will fly out from Gatwick or Heathrow to, for example, Antigua, and then they'll do a very short turnaround, get a load of the passengers off, and then some of them will stay on board because they'll then do a 30-minute flight down to Granada, for example. So that's another option. You could do those little Fifth Freedom links around the Caribbean. If you want kind of a short haul route, British Airways pre-COVID used to operate a 777 between Heathrow and Madrid and back for cargo, shuttling cargo about. Gatwick winds 220 at 9. There we go. So I reckon we can go into the flight plan. And at Gatwick, we're going to expect ILS 26 left via Willow, and we want the VATSIM 1 Golf arrival. And we'll insert that into the flight plan like so. Lovely, no discontinuities. Ollie and Willow there as well, looking good. Obi Kenobi, no you don't. So hotel mode is effectively its own way of having an APU, because it doesn't have an APU in the ATR. So you can start hotel mode without requesting startup, because you've got the prop brake engaged. So even though you're starting the engine, you're not actually rotating the propeller. If that makes sense. That Tango, nice. You saw a 777 go from San Jose to LA and an A380 go from Oakland to San Francisco. The second one was due to a diversion. Yeah, you could do lots of those little kind of repositioning flights. There's a lot of options there actually, aren't there, for some small flight sectors in the triple. Probably the 200 variant, Neil. Dursey2, welcome. How are you, mate? We've done that. The Mythos 3 Alpha and 2 Charlie out of Barcelona, not out of Barcelona, Alicante. And our location at the moment there, just north of AGNVOR again. Auto IFR, that's a bit better. So, there's our procedure. Change that weird bit of music. So, heading over the channel, just south of, well, just past Cherbourg actually, just to the west of Cherbourg, which is where my first ever flying instructor died near actually in a plane crash. Probably around Waypoint Garmy actually, or Cotham, around there. His plane went down. Tragic. Vassux, and then in past the Isle of Wight, into Disvo, Tel2, and then routing from Holly into Willow, and then it will be like a little kind of loop around towards Mayfield, which is just there, and then joining the ILS. So it will look a bit like this. There we go. So blue line, green line is the star into Gatwick, passing Shoreham, and then Holly to Willow, and then it's almost like we kind of join the hold, so to speak, but from Willow turning back on ourselves to pass Holly, up to Mayfield, and then round onto the ILS. So on the charts, a couple of holds over Adlog, Domet and Gok 2. And they're there for some spontaneous holding. And then we've got Vasox, Disvo, Tel2 at flight level 130, maximum 250 knots. And then routing into Holly, max 220 knots just north of Shoreham. There it is on the charts, look. Over to Willow, where there's a hold, and that'll be in the inset there, holding over Willow. Inbound 283, and then a left turn, outbound 103, 5.1 nautical miles per leg there. Max 220 knots at that point, so we'll be decelerating the aeroplane, ready for our approach. And then from there, the ILS initial approach is going to have us route from Willow, as we've just spoke about on the charts. So into Willow, 284 degrees, leave Willow at 4,000 feet, turning left out to 104, 22 DME to Midhurst VOR, and then routing 041 inbound Mayfield. There's another hold there if it's really busy, and then heading northbound 002 degree track down to 2,000 feet by 8.5 DME Mayfield, left turn onto the ILS. Inbound course of 257 degrees from about 8 miles, so it'll be quite low, straight onto that ILS, the glide slope down towards the runway. Missed approach, fly runway heading. Climb to 3,000 feet. We've maintained runway heading until we pass 2,000 feet or 1 DME IWW inbound, whichever is later. So probably the 2,000 foot realistically. And then turn left heading 178 degrees and as directed. And usually you'll be routed downwind to give it another go, or you get routed into the hold. A lot of the time, as Doc saying in the live chat, from Holly you won't necessarily go to Willow. It's just got the airspace designed that way for all of the traffic flying in quite a narrow funnel. Imagine Gatwick and all of these stars into Gatwick for 26 left is like a big funnel. So it starts incredibly wide, covers a vast area, and then as you get towards Mayfield, which everybody passes on the way into Gatwick on 26 left, that's the tip of the funnel, the tiny little spout at the bottom where everybody's fed into. So ATC in reality will be vectoring everybody as required. So from Holly we'll probably just link up to Mayfield, and it depends how we are on profile as well. If we're a little bit high on profile, we'll just route via Willow, lose a bit of altitude and then continue in. Matthew, good morning. In the past, PMTG's release pattern for the 777 is the 200LR and F at the same time, then the 300ER, and then finally a 200ER. Nice. Afternoon, Andy. Hope you're well. So it's time to drop in for the moment. Anyone seen the United 767 yesterday set off from Heathrow to Boston? It circled over Cardiff for about 20 minutes and then returned to Heathrow. Wondering what happened there. Ooh, I don't know. Probably some sort of hydraulic or control issue before going over the water, I'd imagine. So they've just returned back to Heathrow. United now have got a massive maintenance hangar at Heathrow that they've leased off British Airways. I think they might have bought it off them actually. So Heathrow for them is a bit of a maintenance hub. Pilot Trish says, did the Vatsix 1 Golf arrival for 4 years whilst flying the Embraer 195 from the Channel Islands? Flight level 130 at Tel2. Nice. How did you find the E-Jets? Ryan's asking, hi, will you be picking up the iFly 737 MAX, or are you going to wait to get this PMTG 737 MAX? I'm happy to give it a go. I'm not sure what level of fidelity it's going to offer, to be honest. But always happy to have a look and review it and work it out. There's Tel2, 130, max 250, as we've just mentioned a minute ago. It says Holly at 140 there, which is a bit wrong because we're not going to climb 1,000 feet. I'm going to suggest that needs to be nearer to about 6,000 or 7,000. So we might need to change this. What's Mayfield? Mandatory 4. And it's how many miles? It doesn't actually say. Probably about 10 miles from Holly to Mayfield. So 6,000 at Holly would allow us to get to 4,000. We'll go for 6. And speed's in there 220, so that's correct. We can do minimums, so Cat 2 ILS. Probably be 296 actually, because it's wanting it as an MDA. We could put a DH up here, which is going to be 102. Flat 3040, wind correction 5 will do for now unless the weather starts to shift. I'm trying to think where the VNAV page is. Weird. Can't think off the top of my head now. I've forgotten where that would be for the transition altitude. It's not in here. Oh well. We'll just switch when we need to anyway. Neil says he'd just buy one of the variants of the 777. Which one do you think I should get? I would love medium to long haul on it. Then probably the 200. It does say leave Willow at 4,000, Doc. But if I set 4,000, we'll be level at Holly at 4,000 all the way to Mayfield. Which ordinarily on the charts, that's fine, but in reality, flying into Gatwick, I've always had a continuous descent, unless I've gone into a hold. So I'm hoping this will just mean that we can just keep this gradual descent going, effectively. Find out when we get there. If we have ATC, of course, and Gatwick Director comes online, then we'll naturally be guided there too. Chris, hello, says Friday. Will you try VATSIM in the States to try the new CTAV? It could be interesting. Possibly not. I'm not sure. Not sure when the next stream will be. We're flying tomorrow with the Phoenix A320, with the new update, of course. But beyond that, not sure when it will be. For the next stream, but yeah, I've done a CTAF video, so those of you who like to fly around on VATSIM in the US, you definitely want to watch that CTAF video, because we've broke down all of the updates and all the things you need to know from the 1st of March for this massive VATSIM CTAF trial in the US. And in that video I kind of give a couple of examples, a couple of special cases to consider, and I show you how to find the frequencies and how to use it, basically. So definitely worth checking that out. Not sure how long the gaps would be between the release of the variants, Neil. The PMDG's 777. Could be a couple of months, could be a couple of weeks. We're not really sure. Flight Team, yeah, I've updated my GSX today, this morning. Poetry says the Embraer 195 was lovely, very automated, which has its pros and cons, but also a mix of piloting involved. It was a lovely aircraft. Matthew, alluding to our earlier question about the United aircraft that turned back to Heathrow, kind of extends what I was talking about a minute ago, saying there's a lot of things that limit the ETOPS abilities of an aircraft. A lot of what would be minor issues for non-ETOPS are in fact deal breakers for ETOPS. No, 7,000 for Holly might be a bit too high, Doc, because Willow at 7,000 will be flying away from Mayfield and then turning back towards Holly, so we've got an additional 7 miles, 8 miles roughly of flying to lose that additional 1,000 feet. So by setting 6,000, I've basically prevented the need to descend harder and faster at a lower altitude. But then he's saying there, it says leave Willow at 4. Where's the chance? Yeah, leave at 4,000. But then we would be level for about 20 miles of flying at 4,000 feet if we set that. But that's a very pristine kind of chart procedure. We're going to flex that somewhat. Brad says, please do more flights out of Nairobi or any other East African airports. Nairobi to Harb is a great one on the 737. I'll be doing some more African flights. So tomorrow was meant to be, we're going to go back to Livingston. We're going to fly Livingston to Windhoek in the PMDG 737-800, but because Phoenix have suddenly decided to release Block 2 today, we've changed our plans slightly. Chris, hello, new to VATSIM. Really enjoying VFR with mainly circuits as it's easier. Finding most players use it for IFR. Wondering why, as VFR is also very enjoyable. It is, but ultimately IFR is a lot more specific. There's a lot more pre-planning involved, but it's actually quite fixed in what it does as well. So VFR is, certainly in the UK, is quite convoluted. There's got to be a lot of it pre-flight prep done for cross-country flying. There's a lot of nuances in the UK with different types of airspace, and then you have to have the charts which will show you where all of the different bits of airspace interact with one another. So you've got to avoid some of the airspace and fly underneath underneath it, or you might find yourself flying over it, and then you'll be flying through FIRs. It's a headache. Whereas IFR, you get your flight plan, you feed it into the aircraft. It's very, very regimented in the way it's executed with the flight plans, and away you go. And actually, a lot of the air traffic control stuff, when we're talking to them, it's a lot simpler. Rab says, I was hoping for Edinburgh tomorrow. He's got the scenery. Well, we've got over 100 likes now, so we'll give it a few more minutes. In fact, we'll end the poll for tomorrow's Phoenix V2 Block 2 near to Upperlow, between Wren and Upperlow. So it gives people a bit of a chance if they're just tuning in to vote on a flight tomorrow. Andy, good. I've refreshed all my playlist. So a couple of different bits, different playlists to choose now. This is like a vacation vlog playlist type thing. There's rock essentials now, apparently. I've got trap noir, whatever that means. No idea. Now trending, which is a bit more pop-esque. It's like listening to the radio with proper music in the background for that one. And then I've got tropical bangers. But this one's a holiday vibes kind of playlist, apparently. Ian, that'd be epic. If you vote, yeah, tomorrow. I mean, everybody's always welcome to fly along during our live streams anyway. Providing they know how to fly the aeroplane and they're confident enough on VATSIM. And they're happy to be heard on a live stream and seen on a live stream. Always welcome to fly along. It could be a day of Fenix A320s tomorrow, so we could have 10, 20, 30 of us potentially all flying along. Dimbling, welcome. Appreciate it, Chris. To be fair, it's the new headset, I think, which is only cheap. It's about £30. But I bought it to replace my old headset, which was £14. It was the HyperX thing. And actually, the quality of the mic and everything is a lot better. Regional hops, Rab, I'd describe it as. Beep beep. Who's that? Oh, nice. Gonna get the spray coat of the Fenix tomorrow, he says. $110 votes. Only 55 likes though, folks. If you're going to vote as well, do think about giving us a little thumbs up. It all helps YouTube see which are the popular streams and which ones aren't. And then it helps new viewers discover the channel. Well, you know what we need to do? We've got to tune the initial approach. ILS 1109. How's the music volume, by the way, folks? Because I know on the ground it was probably really cue in the background, very quiet in the background. But now at altitude, when the aeroplane goes a bit silent, at least in this, I'm conscious it's louder than you would otherwise perhaps appreciate. So you do let me know, because on my screen and with my speakers it's just quietly in the background, but on the stream output it might be slightly different. Durst says, I'm tempted to install FSX on his old PC which he spent the morning rebuilding. No Fenix for that though. He does own the 146 Professional, so he could carry on with his new Sky type rating. Oh. Quite well audible. Obi-Kenobi. Perfect then. That's exactly where I want it. Precisely where I want it. So the weather at Gatwick at the moment, 220 degrees at 11 knots. So we've got a slight crosswind. It's about 7 knot crosswind and an 8 knot headwind, according to Navigraph. With the way the wind's kind of blending in. All the nines, scattered cloud at 1,900 feet. We've got temperature of 11 degrees Celsius, dew point +6, and the QNH 1017. Oh, this song, Timberlink, is by Hallman. What We Do to Love, apparently. Which apparently he says every sentence. MPS has got a Logitech Pro headset. It's worthless. It doesn't translate voices from English to Swedish. Now that would be impressive, wouldn't it? Where if we had AI that would do it all for us. Oh, we're picking up Gatwick already. Wojtek, if you're watching, and James, massive thank you. to you guys if you're still going to be online for our arrival. Appreciate it. A Gatwick approach has come on online, and Michael as well. Thank you very much if you are watching and you thought, oh, we're going to hop on together. Chris says, have you ever been told off by a controller? I was once told off and found it hard to get over it. I landed but forgot to read contact ground. Hey, I wouldn't worry about it too much, to be honest. I've been told off once or twice. I've had some absolute mares. Almost like our departure out of Alicante earlier, actually, where I just forgot a lot of stuff. Something went wrong at the start of the stream and it threw me off, and yeah, that's the kind of thing where I start to make a compounding list of errors that just build on each other to the point where eventually I'll get told off for some reason. But when I first started on VATSIM, when MSFS got released, I've probably been quite worried or put off by it. It might have shaken my confidence with it a little bit. Now I just don't care. Because I know I'll just be having an off day, and the next day will be a new day, and I'll fly better. Matthew says a way to quickly approximate the crosswind component is at 30 degrees off the runway. Your crosswind component is exactly 50% of the wind, and at 60 degrees approximately 90% of the crosswind is. Yeah, 99% of controllers are great, Chris, to be fair. You'll just get one or two that will just start shouting very quickly at people, and they stand out like a sore thumb. MPS Gamer says, yeah, it had to be a big help at stressful times of VATSIM to have something like an AI automatic translation of the language. Would be quite cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, if you ever get told off on VATSIM by a controller, try and understand why they're kind of telling you off, where you might have went wrong, but also then how to improve to not do it again. But instead of letting it put you off, try and turn it into a positive. And if you're getting a bit of a telling off by a controller, just think, you know what, I'm going to prove you wrong on my next flight, and kind of become competitive with it. So turn it from being I'm being told off into I'm being challenged to do better, and prove this person wrong. That's how I try and take a lot of my tellings off. Like, alright, I'll prove you wrong then tomorrow. I'll fly better. I'll do better. Most of them just have a scope, Chris. A long time ago when I last controlled on VATSIM, I ended up having, I was able to link the sim in, so I was able to then display the sim on there as well, and show you guys what was going on. Darren P, welcome on board, thanks for subscribing to the channel, hope you're well. Thirsty saying some controllers can get stressed when it gets really busy and then they can get quite snappy, yeah. 100%. Stress, pressure, does odd things to people. Especially when VATSIM is top down, you might have an area controller that's controlling 10 different airports. He's got all of the airspace above them, but he's also effectively doing clearance delivery, ground, tower, approach, departure, and the area controller, which is a lot for one person to do, because in real life that would never happen. But on VATSIM the structure allows for that if there's no one else online on the lower frequencies. Yeah, got under control. How you doing, Wesley? Evening. Rab says he had a brilliant controller at Manchester one day on VATSIM. His aircraft failed to capture the localizer, and he was a little flustered, but the controller just vectored him back in again. There you go. That's a great controller. That's what you want. So what have we got? ILS and course tuned in 1109. Just going to start to double check all of the data for things like the ILS. 1109-257. We can maybe swizzle the DH. Right out 102. Now here we don't have a 102, so we'll just set 105. Round it up instead of down. Got 160 miles to top of descent. We've got loads of time before we start to commit in to Gatwick. And then as a bit of a reminder, if you are just tuning in, that's what we're going to begin with. So VATSIM 1 Golf RNAV arrival into Gatwick over the English Channel, just south of the Isle of Wight there, passing through VATSIM and descending to the waypoint of Tel 2, a maximum speed of 250 knots. Let me just see if the Navigraph thing is... Yeah, let me just move this slightly, folks, because I think it's obscured somewhat. That's a bit better, isn't it? Lovely job. So Tel 2 max 250 knots, flight level 130, and then down to Holly. Now we're either going to be vectored round to Willow to join the hold at 220 knots, and at flight level 70. And then we'll basically fly that hold in Willow to 4,000 feet when we then leave towards Mayfield. Oops. So connecting all of that up, down towards Mayfield, mandatory 4,000 feet, then up to 2,000 feet, mandatory 8.5 DME Mayfield before turning into the ILS, which is that. Runway vacating, we always think about what we're going to be doing after landing as well, because we've got to prepare for roughly where our high-speed exits might be, and therefore we choose the correct auto brake, and we decide if we're going to use reverse thrust, so on and so forth. Runway 26 left, we'll probably aim to vacate, which is usually Foxtrot Romeo, which is there, and actually most seem to vacate there because it's demarked by a hotspot on the charts. It's a risk there to aircraft converging on one another and a higher risk of collisions. Yeah, so Foxtrot Romeo is probably where we're going to vacate. So, I'll just have all my charts set up ready when we get a bit closer. Chris, thanks mate, says, are you a real pilot? Because all of the YouTube videos he's watched about Microsoft Flight Simulator, I've been the most informative and competent. Very impressed. I appreciate that, it's very kind of you. I wish I was a real pilot, but I just can't afford it. I've tried 3 times to do my PPL, and 3 times now I've run out of money. Dock arrival gate 20. I'll make a note of it, but I tend to, as you know, go wherever I'm told by ATC. Speaking of which, we've got Gatwick Director 126825. Just going to make a note of these. Tower on 124230 and ground 121805, and then an ATIS on 136525 as well. 136525. South Terminal, damn it. I was hoping for the north. I was hoping for a little thing underneath the bridge. But hey ho. Maybe another time. Hello, Julian in South Africa. Good afternoon. How are you? Hope you're having a good week so far. Dusty was saying he was flying the Salty 747 in Germany last year in the sim, and the sim had a bit of a wobbly moment. The autopilot, the FMS all packed in. He was going to disconnect, but the controller had convinced him to declare a mayday. Wow. Fair enough. Says I'm not sure he'd have done it if it were busy, but he got to hand fly with his vectors and managed to land at Berlin, and it ended up being very enjoyable. That's impressive. What an experience on VATSIM that is. That's great. Absolutely, Rab. Yeah, we've had this almost 70 knot headwind the entire time. 345 degrees at 67 knots coming towards us at the moment, slowing us right down. Always faster going the other way. The votes are really close, folks. If you haven't yet chosen a route for tomorrow in the new Phoenix update, Block 2 V2, you've only got a few more minutes left to get your vote in to choose a routing. You've got Heathrow to Belfast and back, Heathrow to Manchester and back, Heathrow to Edinburgh and back, and Heathrow to Aberdeen and back as those 4 British Airways domestic shuttle service options to choose from. Let's do pick away. It's very, very close. And we'll fly on VATSIM as well, of course. Rab says vote for Edinburgh. Thinking about auto brake as well. A little early still because we are not quite at top of descent. It's just after Rev 2 there. But we can think about low auto brake when you get to Gatwick. Gatwick's got quite a long runway. Chris, I'm not sure actually. Some of the VATSIM groups put out like a congratulations, this person passed on Twitter or on Instagram or that sort of thing, but some of them don't mention it at all. German controllers are routinely very good, Dirty 2. Look at that. Insane. Yeah, most are fantastic, Dirty 2 and Wesley. Most are. It's the very small minority of very snappy, passive-aggressive controllers, but they stand out. And it is as is the case with a lot of a tiny minority of angry people. Sometimes, if you're constantly exposed to it, it feels like it's a constant experience, but actually it's only one person potentially. So, never let a bad experience on VATSIM put you off, folks. Next time, you'll more than likely be speaking to a different controller who will be a lot more tolerant and a lot more patient, perhaps a lot more helpful. Yeah, you might, on occasion, get a very arrogant controller, but it is what it is. But yeah, on the balance, as Dirty2 says, there are plenty of shocking pilots as well that the controllers have to deal with, so you can balance it that way as well quite nicely, I guess. It's a good point. Pete says, Rab, Peter's voted for Edinburgh, so you can put your bike away. Norwegian Avgeek says, what do you do if the air traffic control and VATSIM give you another flight plan route after you already have a flight plan set? You will have to put in the new route. Unless you can't, for whatever reason, like you're on a different AirAC cycle, air traffic control on VATSIM, when they cross-check your route, they're making sure that it's correct and valid. And because of that, you need to use the one that they've given you, because in all likelihood, when you've been planning the flight, there's an error somewhere that they've corrected by giving you a new route. But if you don't have Navigraph, for example, and you therefore can't get the most up-to-date navigation database, the AirACs, then you'll see on SimBrief an AirAC number at the top of your screen. It will say AirAC 2204 or whatever it might say. Put that in the remarks of your VATSIM flight plans. The controller knows you're using older waypoint data, so therefore you might not have the procedures available to use that they require you to use because they've since changed. Yeah, Edinburgh's not winning at the moment. It's actually second in the poll. Belfast is winning at the minute. 132 votes, 32% voted for Belfast. 27 have voted for Edinburgh. 26 have voted for Manchester. 17 have voted for Aberdeen. And we're in between Rennes and Uplow now, so just a few more minutes. I'll close that poll, wherever it be at. You're teetotal, Rab, so you don't drink tea. Yeah, absolutely, Mike. If you're trying your hardest and you've shown that you have tried to prepare somehow and you've put effort into preparing for your flight, then you can't be criticised. At the end of the day, on VATSIM, it's aviate, educate, communicate. What's the slogan that they have? Aviate, something like that. Aviate, educate, communicate. So one of the fundamentals of VATSIM is helping to teach people learn how to use air traffic control comms and fly IFR and all the rest of it. So if you get an angry controller, just remind them of that. Well, actually, just ignore them. Try not to remind them, because it will become this passive-aggressive argument that he'll then dot wallop you for. Aviate, navigate, educate. There we go, Zato. Aviate, navigate, communicate, Obi Kenobi says that's the pilot speaking bit. Your flow of stuff. Aviate, navigate, communicate. But VATSIM use a slogan. Yes, aviate, navigate, communicate. No, aviate, navigate, educate. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to go to the website. Why is it so difficult? Hold on. Aviate, educate, communicate. There we go. That's their slogan. It's so unnecessarily difficult. Alright, here, do it. Yeah, Chris, Volanta doesn't actually give you charts. Danny, have a look at my tutorial video for VATSIM. It's called Regional Differences. So have a little look at that one episode. If you've already got the knowledge of flying around Europe, if you watch that Regional Differences video, it will talk about some of the differences that you will expect when flying on VATSIM around the US. But what you'll also need to watch now, from the 1st of March, the US are taking this massive trial on VATSIM for 6 months. So once you've watched the Regional Differences video, Danny, have a little look at the CTAF video that I've just released on my VATSIM tutorial playlist. It was from last week, that video, and it will tell you all about the trial that they're about to launch covering CTAF. So you'll definitely need to know that as well. 1 hour the poll's been on. Let's hit the button. What do we got? Looks like we're flying Heathrow to Belfast, Aldergrove and back, folks. 31% of the votes. Thank you for everybody who's voted. Should be quite a good little route, that. Tricky approach in Belfast pretty much every time we've flown into it. So, should be quite fun. Good to see how the flight model of the new V2 Block 2 will deal with that as well, actually. $80 miles to top of descent. Norwegian, it depends on the aircraft, but you'll probably just need to go back into the init page, and if you type a new route string at the top in the from to, it will wipe everything out, and it will just wipe it, clear it all, and you can start again. Or you just go into whatever configuration you've got in the aircraft and request your SimBrief flight plan again. So take the route string that you've been given by ATC, go to your SimBrief flight planner, paste it into the route, generate the new flight plan, or analyse it, then generate the new plan, and then you can just re-import the new one perhaps. There's 2 different options there. Oliver, I won't be streaming Block 2 today, no, because it's going to launch at 1800 UTC, which is a bit late. At that point I'll be fiddling around with dinner, dog. I'll have a gin and tonic, washing up, dog walk, all that. So my evenings are quite busy. And I've got to watch another episode of Married at First Sight Australia, the new series. It's actually quite addictive. Oh dear. Peter, nice. His cabin crew's just bought him some lunch. Bovril crumpets and noodle cup of soup. If you want to get told off by an air traffic controller, go to the Far East on VATSIM. Hong Kong and all that kind of area. I think you're guaranteed to someone gets told off every hour or every 10 minutes by those controllers. they can't handle slight deviations and they can't handle flexibility very well. But I think they mean to come across as if they're telling you off. It just seems that way. Politrice, I think that's kind of what's been banded around. So I've been told 1800 UTC is the time to kind of watch out for. And at that point the servers will melt down for about 3 hours, and then Mike will connect 3 hours later and download his update and fly away. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to fly, I'm going to make a note of it, it's the BA shuttle service out of London Heathrow to Belfast Aldergrove, and then back to London Heathrow with the new Phoenix Block 2 V2, or V2 Block 2 with the IAE engine option, which is going to be very exciting. I've been told off by Hong Kong controllers before, Wesley. Is it Belfast City, Doc? George Best. Ah, we've got scenery for George Best. Oh, it's UK 2000. Oh, hold on. There's some freeware. Okay. Yeah, EGAC. Belfast City. We've never flown into Belfast City, I don't think, before. Has anyone used the freeware for Belfast City? I'll put the link in the live chat. Chris, was the international aviation language is English, so yes, if you're flying through it and you speak English, but a lot of these regional areas, you'll find that they'll speak their local language. So French, in France they'll speak French, Spain they'll speak Spanish to each other sometimes, Italy you'll hear them speaking Italian, Japan Japanese, China Chinese, so on and so forth. So what we're doing at the minute is I'm actively monitoring all of the various the vPilot feeds to see if we get London Control or anything like that online. We've got the ATIS frequency there, 136.525 tuned in for Gatwick. Get that out of the way. Let's see if it's in range already. No, don't stick to the UK, Chris, just because of that. They'll still speak English to you, and actually it's really enjoyable flying around a lot of these regions. Gatwick ATIS. Here we go.
And advise aircraft type on first contact. Gatwick information November. Time 1450 Zulu. Runway in use 26 left. Transition level, flight level 70. Surface wind 210 degrees 10 knots. Varying between 170 and 240 degrees. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. broken 1,600 feet, temperature +11, dew point +7, QNH 1017.
Cool.
Acknowledge receipt of information November.
So,
and advise aircraft type on first contact. Gatwick in...
That's weird. It doubled up my frequency there. But anyway, that's the frequency, the ATIS that we've just imported there. So most of the time, Craig, yeah. But once or twice you'll hear somebody speaking Japanese. That's a region I refuse to fly around C2 at the moment. So with that, the key information there, runway 26 left, transition level flight level 70, so as we descend through our profile, as we get to flight level 70, we'll change to QNH 1017, which will then be the local aerodrome QNH for London Gatwick. So we'll then be on local pressure at TL70 for the transition level. Winds are 210 at 10, 210 degrees at 10 knots, but variable between 170 and 240 degrees. So how does that impact our approach? Well, currently 210 degrees is a slight crosswind. What do we got here? So right about 5 knot crosswind. But what we might get is a persistence at 240 degrees, which will be more of a headwind, and then all of a sudden it might veer. Well, actually it backs because it's going the other way. So it might go from 240 and the wind might back to 170 degrees quite rapidly, and the wind speed might change. And if that does, if we're flying at, for example, fully configured on final approach speed at 141 knots, we might suddenly find that we're flying too slowly, and then we might stall. So what we'll do, that speed might suddenly change to 136, which is our slowest we can fly safely. That's the speed we want to be over the threshold, because we're thinking about we're about to touch down, so that's our threshold speed really. So to counter the effect of the variable winds, we'll go from adding +5 on the wind correction to actually +10, which will give us an approach speed of 146, and you can see it auto-calculate there. So that's one of the little differences we're going to make for this variable wind condition that we've got in Gatwick today for our arrival. Flytim says, I really enjoy the immersion of other languages as long as they speak to me in English. 100%, 100%, I love it. Like I say, it sucks you into the experience a bit more, doesn't it? As Matthew's saying, that's essentially what ground speed Mini does in the modern Airbus. MPS is asking, how's the A300-600 now with version 1.08? He's not flown it yet. Actually, I mean, touch wood, don't want to jinx it, we've still got to get her down. Actually quite good still. It's been a smooth experience so far, shall we say. Just hoping it stays that way. So we've got auto brake low, decision height 105. Landing elevation. So airport elevation at Gatwick is 203 feet. So we'll set that landing elevation bug to 200. There. Everything else is set, really. So we're ready for it.
Jersey traffic, Golf Foxtrot, Papa inbound to Jersey from Gatwick, currently descending to the Jersey VOR with 15 miles to run.
Oh nice, somebody below flying into Jersey. Sounds like a general aviation airliner. Aircraft, not airliner. So our routing today is taking us out of Alicante We had this Vector by ATC with a direct straight up through Valencia, and then through Spanish airspace to Gijón, crossing the Pyrenees, and then over south and central West France, over La Rochelle, Rennes, in the Brest region, and about to pass, in fact we have passed Cherbourg, and we've got underneath us at the minute Jersey, Guernsey, Alderney. Towards Vassux we've got the Isle of Wight, and actually we've got a lot of traffic ahead of us. So we've got Easy 36 Mike Foxtrot Owl of LFBO right ahead of us, Easy 65 Golf Charlie. We've got Tomjet 2 Echo Juliet from GVAC up to Gatwick, and Easy 36 Mike Foxtrot out of LFBO for Gatwick. Yeah, quite a bit of traffic headed towards Gatwick actually. So the controller's going to be busy. Hide that for now. Matthew says, Mac 84, you absolute speed demon. You'd be you'd be my favourite kind of co-worker on Go Home Day. If you're not clacking, you're slacking and all that. Hopefully remember flaps on the way down, Mike. I know. What a what a terrible start to our stream, eh? There are just so many different problems compounding into one another with that graphic issue that we started. It just completely threw me. Completely threw me. So yeah, it started off a bit of a shambles. Right there where the cursor is, folks, that's, I think, that EasyJet flight that's right ahead of us. So it's something to consider there. Oh, crikey. That's the one thing we don't get in this. Reset FCP altitude. Right, 130. Down we go. Ding. Got to chase the vertical deviation now a little bit here. Should be easy enough to get it back though. But there's our bottom of descent there. Yeah, I've usually got my nice little flow that seems to work for me, don't I, Mike? But today it was one thing after another, and yeah, it just totally threw me. So speed on conversion. I'll do 275 because I think we are hot on the heels of that easy sleazy. Where's he gone? Oh, are we about to overtake the guy? Quite possibly. Always in that cloud there. Hey, Aerosoft North Sea. Ships in the foreground. Get them speed brakes out, help slow the jet down. That angle makes this look like we're doing some sort of assault approach. What? Passengers are going to be like, wondering what the heck's going on. Good old diamond service. We'll get you down on time. Just don't expect smoothness. In one of those, it's a post-night shift stream, this, isn't it? Just one calamitous thing after another. Here's the turn. Oh, look at that. Daniel, yeah. That is one of my absolute must-have kind of add-ons, I think. Aerosoft North Sea. It's very, very good. Very, very, very good. Makes it super enjoyable and immersive. We got TCAS on... stick it on below. Well, I don't know if this actually picks anything up. I'll stick it on normal actually, that'll do. We know we've got one ahead of us somewhere. 250. Might have to keep the speed brake out actually. Where's my anti-ice? Oops. Through icing as well, continuous relight. Into the clouds. The green circles. Yeah, we're going to need to keep these speed brakes out. Otherwise we're not going to reach TEL 2 at the right speed. Thanks, Doc. Gatwick Director, 126825, let's go. Oops. So it's going to get busy now.
Repeat the heading again, 361 Foxtrot. After Holly, heading 050. 050 after Holly, it's 361 Foxtrot. 925 Foxtrot, route direct landboard, 102 Unicom, 122.8, bye bye.
Route direct landboard, 1 Unicom, 122.8.
Might be a bit high here, might bugger this, might be about to get told off.
Brake easy for Papa November, speed 160 knots or greater, maintain until 40. Easy for Papa November, speed 160 knots or greater, maintain until 40.
Speed 160 knots for Papa November.
Gatwick Director, good afternoon. Monarch 253 Airbus A300 with November inbound TEL 2 descending flight level 170.
Hello, standby, brake easy, 65 Golf Charlie, descend flight level 90, speed 250 knots.
Descend flight level 90, speed 250, easy, 65 Golf Charlie.
253 Gatwick, hello, 26 left, no delay, initially descend flight level 140.
26 left, no delay, and initially 140, Monarch 253.
Lufthansa 3 Juliet Sierra, no further ATC I'm afraid, so it's Unicom 122.8, bye bye.
Unicom 122.8, Lufthansa 3 Juliet Sierra, bye bye.
Alright, so speed's now good, 250, right before TEL 2.
Behind the landing 737, very short final via my.
And you'll have to forgive me now while I really focus. I'll pause the music. There's one less distraction to deal with.
Monarch 253, you're at the back of the pack I'm afraid, so start reducing speed towards 220 knots.
We'll go 220 knots, Monarch 253.
Top Jet 2 Echo Juliet, descent to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1017.
So, being sequenced now by the air traffic controller, so you guys know what's happening, to fit in around all the other aircraft flying into London Gatwick.
35 miles, 26 left, descend to altitude 6,000 feet.
Aircraft's levelling off at 140 now.
6,000 feet,
flying inbound towards Holly.
7, easy 36 miles Foxtrot. Pike Air 177, welcome to Gatwick. Vacate
and 140 is the
ground 121.805. Bye-bye.
Slowest point, or the lowest point we can descend to, because that's what we've been told to descend to. Now, we're near green dot, look how high the nose is, so let's go. Speed's below 250.
Continue approach, expect late landing clearance.
Slats 15. It's just going to lower that nose. Watch that attitude drop.
Late landing clearance,
so there's the flaps.
But continue approach for Papa November.
Much better.
Monarch 253, descend flight level 100.
Descend flight level 100, Monarch 253.
Easy 65 Golf Charlie.
We'll use level change.
70. After Holly, fly heading 050 degrees.
Descend flight level 70 after Holly, heading 050.
Michael, welcome. Been with us for a whole year.
Top Jet 2 Echo Juliet.
Very exciting.
You can start reducing now. Speed 220 knots or greater.
220 knots, greater for Tom Jet 2 Echo Juliet.
Griffin 2544, 26 left, fit for takeoff. Surface winds 210 degrees, 10 knots.
So we're not worrying about VNAV profiles now,
236 Director. Hello,
because ATC is sequencing us. So they're the ones telling us what altitude to be in. Look at that.
236, hello.
That's amazing. Look at that
behind
fog.
the landing, EasyJet on a 4-mile final, flight Alpha 1, line up, 26 left, behind.
Taxi and hold Alpha 1 and behind
Absolutely stunning.
EasyJet, I'll line up and wait, runway 26 left, clear them 236.
Tomjet 2 Echo Juliet, left heading 030 degrees, descent to altitude 3,000 feet. Left 030, descending 3,000 feet,
can't
2 Echo Juliet. Easy 36 Mike Foxtrot, descent to altitude
extend
5,000
flaps
feet, speed 220 knots.
until we reduce below 210 knots now.
Easy 65 Golf Charlie, 32 miles, 26 left, descent to altitude 6,000 feet, QNH is 1017.
6,000 QNH 1017, easy 65 Golf Charlie.
Easy 4 Papa November, 26 left, little land, surface winds 2.
It's always a steep descent into Gatwick, so we'll use a little bit more speed brake
runway 26 left,
just for now. Oh, what a livery.
253 after Holly, fly heading 060 degrees.
After Holly 060 degrees, Monarch 253.
Monarch 253, thanks. Descend flight level 70.
Descend flight level 70, Monarch 253.
Griffin 2544, report passing altitude and climb now, flight level 130.
Leave Holly 060, so I'm going to set that ready. Down to 7, that's our transition altitude.
Tomjet 2 Echo Juliet, turn left heading 350 degrees, speed 180 knots or greater. Just repeat the heading again for Tomjet 2 Echo Juliet. Tomjet 2 Echo Juliet, speed 180 knots or greater.
It says, what about delays?
Roger 350 and 180 are greater for Tomjet 2 Echo Juliet. Easy 36 Mike Foxtrot, descent to altitude 4,000 feet. 4,000 feet.
Mikhail, just log into the Fenix app on your computer and it should load it in.
Hello, Squawk 6250, descend, flight level 80. Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, unreadable, descend, flight level 80.
Sorry about that, Mike, meet at 87 Whiskey Echo, Squawk 6250, move descent, flight level 80.
Finnair 945, flight level 190.
Finnair 945, Gary Director, hello. 26 left, no delay. When you're ready, descend flight level 100.
When ready to descend, flight level 100.
Right. Holly's right there. So 060 is towards Mayfield, look.
Standby brake, Tomjet 2 Echo Juliet, left heading 300 degrees.
Speed brake illumination there, because we've still got that extended.
Left 300, launch established
on left side of
the sun with a glide, Tomjet 2 Echo Juliet. EG 36 Mike Foxtrot, speed 180 knots, turn left heading 020 degrees.
Speed 180 and left 020.
Double ding.
Easy 36 Mike Foxtrot.
Easy 65 Golf Charlie, speed 220 knots, descent to altitude 5,000 feet.
Speed 220 knots,
there's the turn, max, which means...
Easy 4 Papa November, right on Juliet, contact ground 121.805.
Forgot to add heading mode in. Just about made it.
Right on Juliet,
we should get further descent to about 4,000 or actually 2,000 potentially.
Have a nice evening.
Look at that.
Bye bye, you too. Brake KLM 236, 26 left, clear for takeoff, surface wind 210 degrees, 10 knots. Clear for takeoff, KLM 236. Easy 36 Mike Foxtrot, descent to altitude 3,000 feet.
Stunning.
3,000 feet, easy 36 Mike Foxtrot.
Easy 65 Golf Charlie, descent to altitude 4,000 feet.
Descent 4,000, easy 65 Golf Charlie.
Monarch 2 Papa Mike, Gary Director, hello, 26 left, no delay, when ready, descend flight level 80.
26 left, no delay.
Gatwick Director, and then Gatwick ground 121.805.
Griffin 2544, no
so next frequency is ready.
122.8, bye bye.
Heading 060.
Monarch 253, descent to altitude 5,000 feet to QNH 1017, 30 miles, 26 left.
Descend 5,000, QNH 1017, Monarch 253.
Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, after timber, fly heading 270 degrees.
After timber, we're heading 270 degrees after timber, easy 87 Whiskey Echo.
Tomjet 2 Echo Juliet, speed 160 knots or greater, maintain
so
until 40.
Below 215.
160 or greater until 40 dB, Tomjet 2 Echo Juliet. Easy 36 Mike Foxtrot, turn left heading 340 degrees, base leg.
We can now get away with just about flap 15.
Easy 65 Golf Charlie, speed 180 knots or greater, descent to altitude 3,000 feet.
There we go.
To descend 3000, easy 65
That is insane. Look how stunning that looks.
Altitude. Climb now, flight level 170.
Passing 2,100 feet and climb to flight level 130, KLM 236.
Speed brakes armed.
65 Golf Charlie, left heading 030 degrees.
Left heading 030 degrees, easy 65
On to go.
Speedbird 79, Lima, Gatwick Director. Hello, you're on frequency. Yeah, just waiting to get fine. Speak.
Approaches up there.
Via Alpha 1, 26 left, clear to take off.
Gatwick is under that massive cumulus sort of system there.
Takeoff 26 left by Alpha 1 to 79 Lima.
Easy 36 Mike Foxtrot, left heading 290 degrees. Once established, localizer, descend with the glide path 26 left.
Left 290, once established with the glide.
Continuous relight.
With the glide, easy 36
Don't need that.
Monarch 253, descent to altitude 4,000 feet.
Descend 4,000 feet, Monarch 253.
Top Jet 2, okay, Juliet. Continue approach, expect late landing clearance, there's one departing ahead of you.
Expect late landing, continue approach, Tom Jet 2.
So with it busy, he might have one going that way. He might have us just extend.
253, left heading 040 degrees.
Left 040, Monarch 253.
Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, descent to altitude 6.
I feel like I'm getting my float back now, folks.
6,000 feet.
Form 09, 257. Flick the switches.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike, descend flight level 70.
Final approach mode is activated.
7028 Papa Mike.
Thin Air 945, descend flight level 80.
Descend flight level 80, Thin Air 945.
Ergie, welcome.
Easy 65 Golf Charlie, left heading 350.
I mowed the grass in Alicante for you, don't worry.
Left 350, easy 65 Golf Charlie.
Monarch 253, speed 180 knots, descend to altitude 3,000 feet.
180, descend 3,000, Monarch 253.
Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, start reducing speed 220 knots.
200, 205 for flap 20, let's use it. So increasing flaps is also going to increase his lift, but also increase drag therefore. So it's going to help us slow down.
Slow down shortly.
Maintain 182, easy 365 touch.
Let's use a bit of speed brake anyway.
Tom Jet 2, could you are we okay to reduce the final approach?
A little bit lag there.
124 and 26 left, you are clear to land. Surface wind 210 degrees, 10 knots.
GA's armed in the limited mode, TRP, automatic.
79 Lima, report passing altitude and climb
Got
down.
my seat set up, feet on the rudder pedals.
79 Lima, passing 1,000 feet, climb.
Level at 3.
130.
Speed brakes are away.
5 Golf Charlie, left heading 300 degrees. Once established, localizer, descend
And
flight
rearmed.
path 26 left.
Park brakes off.
Left heading 330 degrees, once established, descend with the glide, easy
There's an aircraft just there.
65 Golf Charlie, heading 300 to establish 300.
300.
Monarch 253, turn left heading 360 degrees, base leg.
Left 360, Monarch 253.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike, after Holly, fly heading 050 degrees.
Known delay there, so that's a sequence just right behind the CZ-Jet. He's now got to be bang on his procedures, otherwise it might affect us. We've got to be bang on our procedures so we don't affect the next person's sequence behind us. So we should get a left turn any second to then intercept the localizer. We're waiting for that.
Easy 36 Mike Foxtrot, speed 160 knots or greater, maintain until 4 dB.
160 till 4, easy 36 Mike Foxtrot.
Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, descent to altitude 5,000 feet.
5,000 feet.
Here we go.
Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, turn right all the way around, heading 040 degrees.
It's got us on a slight overshoot here, I think.
040 degrees,
KLM 236, afraid there's no further ATC. See Unicom 122.8, bye bye.
122.8, KLM 236, great job, have a good day.
Cheers, Lucian. Easy 65 Golf Charlie, once established, speed 160 knots, maintain until 4 dB.
160 till 4, easy 65 Golf Charlie.
Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, descent to altitude 4,000 feet.
So we're going to have to be vectored left and left again to sequence to establish. It hasn't cleared us for the ILS, so we can't press VL until we get told that. So at the minute we're just being vectored
Easy
360 degrees.
Left, clear to land, surface winds 210 degrees, 10 knots.
Press on 26 left, easy 36 miles per shot.
Finnair 945 after Holly, fly heading 050 degrees.
After Holly, fly.
It might be so busy, you might have forgotten about us.
Monarch 253, turn left, heading 290 degrees. Once established localizer, descend with the glide path 26 left.
Left 290 degrees and cleared ILS 26 left when established, descend with the glides. Monarch 253.
Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, speed 180 knots.
There we go.
Descent to altitude
Little dog leg.
3,000 feet.
And that's just going to help us sequence. There's the motorway below us, look at that. Stunning. This sim is bloody fantastic, isn't it? Look at that. Actually incredible.
Osprey 27 Alpha, you're front of the queue. Maintain speed 270 knots or greater.
VL.
270 knots or greater, Osprey 27 Alpha.
There's the ILS there, which is extended us right out. So this is actually just a little dog leg to connect. Couldn't see that on my screen initially. So VL's arms. There's the ILS.
1016 is at the 6,000 Monarch 2 Papa Mike.
And all stations, Garrett broadcast, UQNH 1016. That's UQNH 1016, Garrett count.
1016, make sure we change that.
Garrett Director, Osprey 2472, inbound Dismo descending through flight level 229.
Osprey 2472, Garrett Director, hello, 26 left, no delay, descend.
Excuse me, land and then AP2. I always get the sequence of that muddled up. And where are we? 14 miles.
87 Whiskey Echo, left heading 360 degrees, base leg.
257, 257. That's set 145 for approach.
Left heading 360, heading north.
And IMC.
Monarch 253, speed 160 knots, maintain until 4 DME.
160 till 4 DME, Monarch 253.
Finnair 945, descend.
Okay, speed's good. Full flap, 40. And slack 30.
Osprey 2472, speed 270 knots.
Little landing gear warning, we'll clear that. We'll drop the gear anyway. We're still 13 miles out. But if the aeroplane wants the gear out with the full flap extension, we'll cancel the warning. We'll put it out anyway.
Hello, fly heading 180 degrees.
Heading 180 degrees, Airbus Industry 09 Lima.
Airbus Industry 09 Lima, to be radar vectors ILS runway 26 left. Descent to altitude 5,000 feet, QNH 1016.
Look at that, it's just stunning, isn't it?
ILS runway 26 left, descent to flight level 5,000.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike, start reducing speed 180 knots, descent to altitude 5,000 feet.
180 and 5,000.
Look at the clouds.
Easy 87 Whiskey
Oh,
Echo,
what a screenshot that is.
330 degrees.
Left on 320 degrees, 7 Whiskey Echo.
So, turning to focus.
Descend flight level 80.
Missed approach, climb 3,000, we fly straight ahead, runway heading until 2,000 feet, then turn left on heading 178 degrees, then as directed. That's the brief. We've got our next frequency, which is Heathrow ground tuned in ready. This tower's gone offline. Controller's doing an amazing job.
Vacate right onto 26 right, contact ground 121.805, bye-bye.
Look at this.
We'll vacate right onto 26 right and then we'll contact ground 121.805, easy 36 Mike, Foxtrot, bye.
Easy 65 Golf Charlie, 26 left, clear to land, surface winds 210 degrees.
That's one ahead.
Clear to land, easy 65.
He's just there actually on the TCAS.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike, descent to altitude 4,000 feet.
So he's just been cleared to land ahead of us. 5 miles roughly. That's how he sequenced us. Really impressive work with the controller. 160 till 4 DME, we're at 9 miles now.
Descent 6,000.
Glide slope's about to capture.
116, Finnair 945.
Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, that heading doesn't look like it's worked there. If you could turn right heading 300 to establish. Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, right heading 300 to establish.
So on the glides, we've got all right low, gear down 3 green, flaps and slats 30-40, so they're all set, our brakes off.
Hello, your frequency.
Yeah, on frequency, pivot 2412.
Ready for it.
2412, thanks. Hold it Alpha 1, behind the landing EasyJet 320, 2.5 mile final.
So he's actually even sequencing an aircraft to take off between that EasyJet that's just about to take off and us. You can just see the strobes.
Looks like you're at Alpha 1 there. Taxi forward, hold it Alpha 1, behind the landing EasyJet, line up 26 left.
So this is really precise controlling now. So if this pilot just delays his takeoff roll too much, we'll have to go around.
Flight level 70, Osprey 27 Alpha.
I love VATSIM when it's like this.
Mike left heading 350 degrees.
160 till 4 DME, so we're going to hold our speed until 4 DME, and then we're going to drop to 145 knots. And we need...
253, continue approach, expect late landing clearance, there's going to be one squeezed in between you.
Roger, continue approach, Monarch 253.
Osprey 27 Alpha, after
We need
heading 050
rudder controls tiller, we need that ready so we can press yes. One intersection departure ahead.
Osprey 2472, descend flight level 100.
This is a masterclass in air traffic control on VATSIM, folks. Full immersion.
Easy 87 Whiskey Echo, thank you, speed 160 knots, maintain until 4 DME.
What was it, 145? Yeah, 145, lovely.
87 Whiskey Echo, 160, 160 to 4.
160 to 4,
No problem, break Airbus Industries 09 Lima. Just going to keep you on this heading for another 10 miles just to
That's
fit you in the sequence.
Standby instrument needs to match.
Airbus Industries 09 Lima, speed 220 knots.
Speed 220 knots, Airbus Industries 09 Lima.
Easy 65 Golf Charlie, welcome to Gatwick. Right on to Juliet, contact ground 121.805, bye-bye.
Right, Juliet, contact ground 121.805, easy.
This is going to be immediate takeoff for the next guy.
Osprey 2472, descend flight level 80, after Holly, fly
Doesn't it, Mikhail?
70 degrees.
Sounds like real
After
ATC.
Holly 070, Osprey 2472. Speedbird 2412, landing traffic 3 miles, 26 left, cleared immediate takeoff.
That's him.
Wind 210 degrees, 8 knots.
Cleared immediate takeoff, 26 left, speedbird 2412.
So as he's now literally lifting off the runway, we're going to be cleared to land. So this is going to be super tight, folks. Anyway.
300, and we'll call the staplers and descend on the glide path 28 Papa Mike.
Let's go. Manual control. Autopilot and auto throttle off. My controls.
Descend to altitude 4,000 feet and turn right heading 270, Airbus Industries 09 Lima.
This variable wind is quite playful.
Speed 180 knots, descend to altitude 5,000 feet.
Speed 180 at...
So he's just got airborne.
Monarch 253, 26 left, clear land, surface wind 210 degrees, 8 knots.
Cleared land, Monarch 253. Sunk a little bit there, but it's fine.
Virgin 745 Gatwick, on frequency.
I actually feel like this is a better profile.
Virgin 745 Gatwick Tower's just logged online. If you could give them a call, 124.230 away.
Yeah, that's down. Nose wheels down. And reverse green. Decelerating nicely.
Industry 09 Lima, turn right
100 knots.
300 degrees. Once established localizer, descend with the glide path 26 left.
My brakes.
Turn right heading 300.
All brake disengaged.
On the localizer, landing on runway 26 left.
Monarch 253, welcome to Gatwick. Right on to Juliet. Contact ground 121.805. Bye-bye.
Right, Juliet, and ground 121.805 for Monarch 253. Thanks to the ATC. Great job. See you later.
See ya. Break easy 87 Whiskey Echo. Contact Gatwick Tower 124.
There we go.
1230.
That didn't reset properly.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike. Speed 160
Lovely.
knots,
257 foot per minute. Bang on the threshold.
Osprey 2472, start reducing speed 220 knots.
You said right, Juliet.
220 knots, Osprey 2472. Fin Air 945, descend to altitude 4,000 feet.
I've got to head down here first.
So is that Fin Air 945, descend to 4,000?
Hey, firm, descend to altitude.
Happy with that. Back to using a lot of power to keep us rolling here. Flaps up. Speed brake. Disengaged. Gatwick ground, good afternoon. Monarch 253's vacate 26 left there on a backtrack.
Monarch 253, ground, good day, taxi via 08 left, Romeo, hold short, Juliet.
Taxi 08 left, Romeo, hold short, Juliet, Monarch 253.
You're on here, Portugal. 1531, crystal clear.
Yeah, we're really happy with that touchdown. I feel like the way it handles in landing now, in the landing phase, has changed slightly and actually it felt very nice.
Holding point Alpha 2, runway 26 left.
Master caution. Brakes. Ooh, we've got brake fan warning here. What brakes? Those like taxi runway turner flights.
CV64 Yankee Golf, contact tower on 124.
AP Master.
230, bye.
Starts. Okay. That'll do. There's the EasyJet. Nice touchdown there.
75 Echo Kilo, that was not for you. Disregard this message, it was not for you. EV6 forward Yankee Golf ground.
Hello.
Tower 12 forward 230 for EV6 for Yankee Golf.
Around 124.230
There we go. Now we're rolling at good
forward
speeds.
183, any problem?
That's a bit better. Thanks, Mikhail.
Runner forward 183, any problems?
No problem.
Runner 4183, Roger, I see you moving now, thank you. Contact tower 12 forward, decimal 230, bye.
Just pop the transponder on. It's a very low down kind of look that. I prefer that as a default view. Just my personal preference.
Portugal 1531 ground.
Very enjoyable aeroplane this. How good was that approach controller for Gatwick?
Report your aircraft type and stand number, please.
Proper next level immersion that. So where do we go? That's this little threshold bit. And we'll go left Romeo, and then we just hold at the little junction here, because this is Juliet.
831, Roger, thank you. Clear to Lisbon via Novma 1 X-ray departure, squawk 3 forward, 35, 781016.
Could you repeat the squawk code again for me, please?
3 forward, 35.
There's Gatters.
Block.
Air Portugal 1531, squawk for your 3 forward, 35.
Virgin's on the takeoff roll.
Hello,
A330-300. I wonder if it is. If it is, I wonder if it's an Aerosoft one in testing. Rolling resistance is very high. Look at that. Almost just come to its own halt there.
EV31 Alpha Hotel, you have called me 3 times. I sent
Romeo's
you,
here.
Hold. You are number 3 for the clearance. Break. Air Portugal 1531. Back off your scope.
We've got all these gates to choose from. We don't know which one it's going to be yet, so we just need to wait basically.
Air Portugal 1531. Read back correct. Break. Easy 87 Whiskey Echo. Welcome to Gatwick. Taxi via 08 left. Romeo. Kilo.
This is Juliet.
107 for you.
We can't cross any further now.
Monarch 253, taxi via Romeo, Kilo Alpha Lima, stand 36.
Taxi Romeo Kilo Alpha Lima, stand 36, Monarch 253, thanks.
Still go 248 Charlie.
What's your message?
Yes sir, we're in the queue for departure clearance, stand 23, information
36.
Roger, L station standby.
East 172, but the line ball cleared to
Where's stand 36? Where's Kilo Alpha? Oh, gotcha. Romeo Kilo Alpha. Okay, so we're going through here. Come on, power. There's a lot of nothing there.
Interesting. Stand by.
Yes, indeed. EV2 Papa Hop, correction. All stations waiting for clearance. The deliveries online. Contact delivery for clearance on 121.955. Delivery 121.955.
A little mass caution there was the packs changing from engine supply to APU supply. Really cool. There we go. I think my throttle calibrations have gone a little bit.
Girl on airport to go 1531 requesting push on start.
Airport to go 1531, stand 112.
Yeah, boy. Diamond service.
Push on start of roof facing east 1531.
Stand 36.
EV22 Echo Tango, contact tower.
It's in Pier 3, so Kilo. And then we follow the little wiggle across onto Kilo here. Kilo Alpha, then Lima. We go round to stand 36, which is up here.
Mike Charlie, stand 23, push and start.
Which I think was a stand that I parked at with BA years ago when we landed back from Mauritius 3 years ago, actually, if I remember rightly. Weird how you remember these things. That's one of the guys landing. We've got a queue to depart. Maximilian, welcome.
Monarch Airbus 306 passing from your right to your left. Pushback start is approved, face west.
That's him. Oof, is that going to be a go around?
Gatwick, hello, Monarch 28 Papa Mike at Julia.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike, ground, good day. Taxi via Juliet, Romeo Kilo, hotshot Papa, expect stand 34.
Oh nice, he's parking this all together.
Taxi via Juliet, Romeo Kilo,
oh my goodness.
Papa, expect stand
look what's here, folks.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike.
Now that's got to be on a different sim, like P3D.
Via Juliet, Romeo Kilo, hotshot Papa.
It is, Chris, yeah, by quite some margin. It's the Boeing 777. 200 ER.
Tower 124, decimal 230, bye.
Gary Ground, sorry about that. We lost comms. Spirit 24 Mike for push and start.
Spirit 24 Mike after passing aircraft. As you're back, pushback start of approved face west.
There we go.
Lovely. Push and start approved after the aircraft's gone by. Facing west, Spirit 24 Mike John.
Deepod, welcome. Last year I had a flight for a fully staffed Gatwick, had to go around twice because Tower first forgot to clear me to land. Then managed to clear me to land in the controller's team speak. I think it's just the light reflection. 35, stand 36.
Lufthansa 1 Juliet Alpha, taxi to holding point Alpha 3, runway 26 left via Papa and Alpha November.
Here we go. Park me up. It's VDGS. 11 meters. Little dabs on the brakes. Keep us going a bit slow. Bar brake set. Okay, right, that's all set, that's all off.
Airport to go 15.
AP bleeds on. Lights are on.
Portugal 1531.
Engines off. Park brake set.
Alpha 2, runway 26 left via Papa.
Ground services. Chocks. They've cut off. Beacon lights off. Seatbelt signs off. That's all good. Pop the brake fan off as well, we don't need that. GSX. Request e-boarding. Bit weird. It can't quite reach. It's a strange design of door, isn't it? Oh my goodness. We won't look too much. Anyway, there we go. Living on a player welcome. There's the 777 that's just pushed back away from us. He's been waiting for us, and we're just going to see if we can spot the others flying in. I don't know if we have already all landed or not. There they are. There's Zato in the Monarch. Have a quick check of New Sky, see how we've done on that flight today with the score. Let's close our flight log. 43,887 on the points and a 10. Yeah, buddy. There we go. Happy with that. Excellent. First flight in a month in this. We had a real messy start, but we made it.
Ground, AC31 Alpha, requesting push-up start, and 1-2.
And I think, by the looks of it, the others haven't landed yet. Which means we've got one on short final with that EasyJet with an immediate takeoff there. I'll tell you what, the day this gets released in MSFS is going to be mega, isn't it? Look at that.
Speedbird 24 Mike Charlie, taxi to holding.
That's going to be so good.
Runway 26 left via Papa and Alpha Sierra.
Holding point Alpha 2 via Papa Alpha Sierra, Speedbird 24 Mike Charlie.
Monarch 28 Papa Mike, for your information, you're on Lima, but no worries now. Continue via Lima, stand 34 is in front of you.
Roger, yeah, sorry we missed our turn there, but yeah, we'll continue on Lima and straight to 34.
It's an Osprey, I think.
Air Portugal 1531, contact tower on 124, decimal 230, bye.
Bit screen grab of that. Sato in the backdrop, in the old school Monarch livery. Beautiful. What is that? It is an Osprey. Mikhail, yeah, just a New Sky. Did it pop up on your screens? It should have done. It said it did. Lovely. Gonna say it. Microsoft Flight Simulator's best virtual airline. Should be a real airline. Imagine seeing that in real life, flying about. Maybe we could crowdfund to get one set up. What a touchdown! Oh!
Can we get 1123 radio check?
Absolute whopper.
1123, Gatwick ground, good day, 5x5.
How many millions do you reckon we need to start an airline up? That'd be an absolute dream, that. There she is. I want to see that take off. Do a little bit of virtual plane spotting at the end, like we always do, folks. Hello, Gamer Clark. Welcome. Clever Trevor. How are you doing? I was wondering when you'd show up, Mr. Monarch.
12423 sir, Speedbird 24 Mike Charlie. Cheers, mate.
Too many to count now. Yeah, very true.
Stand 171 left,
Don't forget, folks, tomorrow, Fenix version 2 Block 2. Releases tonight. We're going to be live with it tomorrow for 2 sectors, flying a BA shuttle service powered by IAE engines for the first time in MSFS for a flight out of London Heathrow, flying the BA shuttle service to Belfast City and back. First time visiting Belfast City, I think, in the sim with some freeware. Although I'm not sure if I should buy the UK 2000 scenery or if I should get the freeware and enjoy that instead. Mark says start with billions and end up with millions. Pretty much, yeah.
Romeo, Lima, Quebec and Alpha.
Off goes the Ryanair. This cloud's definitely dropping. Look at the colours. Chris, yeah, I use FSLTL and AIG. How many more do we have to come in and land? Do we know?
Ground today, taxi via Juliet, Hot Papa, expect stand 1.
I think we got one more, 2 more on final. In fact, it's Ian. Osprey 2472 in the A300-600. Look at that. Such a cracking aeroplane, isn't it? The Osprey World Cargo livery, in fact, that it's rendered him into. Ooh, he's landing long. He's going for it. Nicely saved. He's just got to get it slowed and stopped now. Quite hazy now all of a sudden as well. A few miles behind him, someone else flying in. Our final pilot's flying EasyJet actually for this for the last guy in. And we've got the EasyJet now lining up ready to go.
Gatwick ground, good.
So everything's being sequenced to about 4 miles separation, probably a 3 mile separation actually. Delta Tango better than being on 3 minutes of aviation or Blancolirio channel.
Easy 3
Mikel, have a good one, mate.
Gatwick ground, good day. Stand 5-2.
Steve, no, it's not yet available. About 1800 UTC apparently, so 2 hours from now, at some point from there.
Easy 31 Alpha Hotel, requesting taxi for runway 65.
No.
Easy 32, correction, Easy 31 Alpha Hotel.
Yeah, basically Big Jet Virtual, that's what we are right now.
Taxi hold short, point Mike.
If Osprey Airlines was real life, it would be in the headlines from virtual to reality. One man's dream come true, he says. Could you imagine? There's that crosswind now on the windsock, coming in right across the runway.
Finnair 945, could we
Making
have
it a bit spicy.
gate 558?
Rotate. Whoa! Oh, I'm not sure if that would have been a wing strike in his sim.
Gatwick ground, Osprey 2472 is holding at.
Tell you what, look at that climb out. Absolutely stunning.
Finnair 945, say again.
Could we have gate 558?
Last pilot flying in. It's on 4 mile final, roughly. Just about to see the strobes behind that massive backdrop of cloud.
EZ31 Alpha Hotel, contact tower on 124.230, bye.
121.230, EZ31 Alpha Hotel, thank you.
Big thank you to our air traffic controllers today at Gatwick and in Barcelona. Barcelona radar covering us down in Alicante on the VATSIM network today.
EZ1 Golf Echo, fully ready.
For some really enjoyable immersive air traffic control.
Osprey 2472, welcome to Gatwick taxi via Juliet Romeo hold short Lima.
Here's our final
47.
commander. If you've not already done so, hit the like button before you head off. If you're new to the channel, welcome on board. Do press the subscribe button as well.
EZ81 Golf Echo stand 113, pushback
Actually,
approved, east.
I think that might be all of us. Is that a BA? Yeah, it is. Oh well, we'll watch him anyway.
EZ281.
He's coming from somewhere else. I think he's coming from Barcelona, not Alicante. Flying the Griffin, which I think is this guy's call sign, which is the BA Euroflyer subsidiary at Gatwick Airport now. They've got their own call sign. They're no longer Speedbird at Gatwick, they're Griffin, unless they're the long haul aircraft. Oh yeah, Osprey. Boom, touchdown. Very short, snappy touchdown there.
LM1281 stand forward, pushback start up is approved.
So yeah, the long haul jets are still operating under Speedbird, but the short haul British Airways aircraft are now operating under Griffin as a call sign, which is quite cool. Took me a while to kind of work that out though, and looks like the Osprey guys are being routed down that way.
4 minutes delay due to company aircraft pushing from the stand on your right side.
Yeah, we have the company aircraft in sight and we'll be waiting easy to perform test.
Where's Sato get parked in the end? There he is.
Tomjet 1123, taxi via Sierra, hold short Juliet.
Taxi via Sierra, hold short Juliet, Tomjet 1123.
EZ2 Papa Hotel, hold position, I'll call you.
Oh, that's very broken, isn't it? What's that? On the FSLTL model. Very weird. Right, massive thank you to all of you for tuning in, watching, wherever you are in the world. A huge thank you as well, of course, to our channel members, Bronze, Silver, Gold, frequent flyers, all of our new subscribers from today, and our VATSIM air traffic controllers for flying along and giving us some really immersive air traffic control. Certainly for this arrival, the Gatwick Director was insanely good. All adds to the immersion and gives us this great VATSIM experience. Enjoy Phoenix version 2 Block 2 releasing imminently, folks. I hope you're going to be enjoying it. Let us know where you're going to be flying in our Discord server and share your thoughts there too. But of course tomorrow we'll be in Phoenix V2 Block 2 ourselves.
Give way to
for a BA shuttle service to Belfast City and back. But I'm going to leave you in a couple of minutes as we watch this BA 777 depart, I reckon, because I'm quite interested to see what that's going to look like. It's been a good couple of hours. Big thank you to everyone who's took part in our poll and everyone who's pressed the like button so far as well today. Great to see so many of you tuning in.
Get the ground,
See if we can race them down the runway. What do you think?
Stand 144 with information of the request push and start.
Hey look, that's how you line up. Big long aeroplane. And you taxi to try and keep the centre wheels there between the yellow line or the white line for lining up. He's overshot that a little bit, almost as if he's in a 777-300ER. But bearing in mind, he might be. It looks like he's got a different. Yeah, it looks like he's got a different scenery. So he's on a different simulator there. He's slightly offset, but off he goes. His GE90s.
Mike 1 by Mike, Air 131.
Enjoy the rest of the evening wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you tomorrow for some VATSIM Heathrow to Belfast City, shuttle service ops, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the VATSIM network. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks for flying.
Gatwick.